Chapter 767, It's Her _2. The wide and long cement road alone was enough to make people in other villages envious. After dinner, each family would leave one person to help Nai Tsuhua clean the kitchen and wash the dishes. With many hands at work, it didn't take long for the small kitchen to be tidied up neatly. Mrs. Zheng sighed, "The atmosphere of this village is really great." Mr. Zheng nodded, "Yes. It feels like we've gone back many years." After spending many years in elite circles, the emotional warmth had faded somewhat. The next day, Nai Yang planned to visit her master and his wife. She bought a lot of nutritional supplements and set off on her bike. The couple lived on the other side of Beijing, more than 60 kilometers away from Jinghua village. Riding a bike was not enough, so Nai Yang cycled to the city, then took a taxi. Standing in front of the familiar courtyard gate, Nai Yang was filled with mixed feelings. At this point in her previous life, her senior brother had already been killed, so 2 white lanterns hung in front of the small courtyard, making it look desolate and lonely. In this life, her senior brother was still alive and well, and the red lantern was still the same as before. It was a relief. Nai Yang knocked on the door of the courtyard. After a period, the door was opened by a kind-looking old lady in her 60s or 70s. "Hello, who are you looking for?" This was Wang Zhoushi, her master's wife from her previous life. Coming from a feudal society, the master's wife had no name of her own. After marrying her master, she adopted his surname and combined it with her own to be called Wang Zhoushi. Upon seeing her benefactors from her previous life again, Nai Yang's eyes welled up with tears. "Mas," she nearly said, "Master," but quickly swallowed it back and asked, "Hello, is this Dr. Wang's home?" Wang Zhoushi nodded, "Yes, come in, young lady." For some unknown reason, even though it was her first time meeting this young lady, Wang Zhoushi felt a very friendly sense of familiarity, as if they had known each other for a long time. The small courtyard was as familiar as ever. Wang Zhoushi led Nai Yang into the living room. "Sit here for a moment, young lady, I'll go call someone for you." The master had no hobbies other than cockfighting and drinking. He was probably competing with his old buddies next door right now. After her senior brother's death in the previous life, the master suddenly aged overnight. He stopped cockfighting and drinking. "That would be great, thank you." "It's not a problem at all, it's the least I could do." "You can wait here." Wang Zhoushi walked out. Nai Yang sat in the chair, quietly observing everything in the living room. The living room's furnishings were very simple and clean. Although the master was a divine doctor, his lifestyle was quite modest. Because he never overcharged, and even paid out of his pocket when treating impoverished families. Soon after, Wang Zhoushi clutched a vibrant, glossy-feathered rooster, and returned with Master Wang. Old Master Wang held the rooster in his arms, grumbling, "It's all your fault. Without your interruption, my undefeated general would have won." Wang Zhoushi replied, lost for words, "And what if he did win? Can we eat him? Can we spend him? I truly can't understand what's so amusing about this game with roosters. You're no longer young and it's a bit shameful to act like this." Master Wang turned his head away in disdain, "A woman's opinion. I can't be bothered to talk to you. I can't be bothered to talk to you either." Even as they bickered, they made their way into the living room. Seeing the couple return, Nai Yang immediately stood up from her chair. "Dr. Wang." Master Wang was stunned, he didn't recognize this young lady. Traditional Chinese medicine pays attention to observation, listening, questioning, and pulse-taking, and just one glance told him that this young lady did not come to seek treatment. If she was not here for treatment, what was she here for? Nai Yang read Master Wang's confusion and continued, "Dr. Wang, my name is Nai Yang, and the both of you can call me Yang Yang. I came here today to express my gratitude." Nai Yang placed a pile of nutritional supplements on the table. Dr. Wang became even more confused. "Young lady, are you sure you haven't mistaken me for someone else?" Nai Yang was so beautiful, that if he really had seen her before, he would have remembered her. It was impossible for him not to have any impression at all. Ni Yang had prepared a line of argument in advance. Dr. Wang, do you remember saving a little girl from drowning 15 years ago? If it weren't for you, I wouldn't even exist now. Throughout his life, Dr. Wang had saved countless people. He vaguely remembered such an incident, but he had forgotten the specifics. Chapter 768, It's Her _3. This child was one who understood gratitude. So many years had passed, yet she still remembered it in her heart. Dr. Wang smiled and said, as a doctor, I am merely doing my duty to heal the sick and injured. There's no need for such courtesy, young lady. Ni Yang continued, ever since the incident 15 years ago, I've aspired to be just like you, Dr. Wang, a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner who heals the sick and injured. Over the years, I've read quite a few medical books. Dr. Wang, I wish to take you as my master. Ni Yang's sincerity was palpable. The medical skills she possessed were all taught by Dr. Wang. Therefore, it was only right for her to ask to formally become his apprentice. Old Dr. Wang stroked his beard, if you wish to become my apprentice, you must have some real skills. You said you've read medical books, right? The young lady is so beautiful, becoming an apprentice might just be a passing whim. Old Wang didn't take Ni Yang's request to heart. Yes. Ni Yang nodded. Follow me. Old Wang gestured and walked outside. Ni Yang followed his steps. Old Wang took Ni Yang to the courtyard. The courtyard was filled with an abundance of drying herbs, the air wafted with a subtle medicinal scent. Old Wang pointed at these herbs and said, if you can correctly identify all these herbs today, I'll take you as my apprentice. Wang Zhoushe tugged at Dr. Wang's sleeve, old man, aren't you deliberately making things difficult for the young lady? There are so many herbs, even I can't recognize them all, how could she possibly do so? Old Wang continued, if she can't identify them, it means that we don't share a master-apprentice destiny. Wang Zhoushe, speechless, retorted, what master-apprentice destiny you speak of? The young lady is so pretty, just her willingness to accept you as a master should make you gleeful. Yet, here you are still flaunting your masterly arrogance. A woman's perspective. While the two were speaking, Ni Yang approached the drying racks and began to identify the herbs. This is chunbujian, purple velvet grass, stemless vine, crow leaf. These herbs have detoxifying properties. This is green ginseng, 5-flavor skin, chickspear vine, maple bark, old stork grass. These herbs can eliminate rheumatism and strengthen muscles. Dr. Wang's expression gradually shifted to surprise. He didn't expect Ni Yang to successfully identify all the herbs. In addition, she not only recognized them all, but also understood the properties of the herbs. She was clearly a genius. Wang Zhoushe was also taken aback. She spent many years assisting Dr. Wang, and despite routinely drying these herbs herself, she couldn't identify all of them like Ni Yang did. Doctors value talent, and old Wang was no exception. He walked over to Ni Yang, good, very good. Today, Wang Erge officially accepts you as his apprentice. Throughout his life, he had taken several apprentices, but none of them turned out promising. They couldn't even memorize the names of the herbs, leading them to eventually give up. Ni Yang immediately knelt and kowtowed in respect, Master and Mistress, please accept my salutation. Good child, stand up. The elderly pair walked over and helped Ni Yang to her feet. Thank you, Master and Mistress. Ni Yang addressed them naturally, delighting the elderly couple. Soon after, Old Wang took Ni Yang to pay respects to the ancestral master. Old Wang's medical skills were passed down from the lineage of Bien Quebec. Hanging on the wall was a portrait of Bien K, below which hung the portrait of a more recent ancestral master. Old Wang handed 3 sticks of incense to Ni Yang. From today onwards, you are the 108th direct disciple of my Xian medical lineage. In the future, you must uphold the medical ethics, maintain integrity in practicing medicine. Live in peace, sleep in peace, bearing no guilt. I will heed your teachings. Ni Yang bowed and placed the incense into the incense burner. Ni Yang was very clever. Many things only had to be explained once by Old Wang, and she would understand. Old Wang was overjoyed. After so many years, he had finally found a disciple with exceptional aptitude. Old Wang was eager to parade Ni Yang around, to let everyone know how gifted his new disciple was. Old Wang stroked his beard, triumphantly saying, "Let's see how Lin Yuan mocks me now." Lin Yuan was Old Wang's senior fellow apprentice and another divine doctor. His medical skills were on par with Old Wang. The only difference was, Lin Yuan had an extraordinarily talented apprentice, and always boasted about his apprentice to Old Wang. Furthermore, he mocked Old Wang for having no one to inherit his medical skills. Wang Zhosher laughed, "Look how smug you are." Old Wang took a sip of wine, crossed his legs and stated, "I do have something to be smug about." Chapter 769, It's Her _4. Wang Zhosher shakes his head helplessly, dealing with a person of such an age who still acts like a child every day. For 3 consecutive days, Ni Yang spends the afternoon with old Mr. Wang. Wang Ziki seldom stays at home, and the old couple, Mr. Wang and Wang Zhosher, find their home life quite dull. But with the arrival of Ni Yang, smiles have returned to the faces of the elderly couple. Despite Ni Yang's sound medical skills from her previous life, in her current life, she discovers lots of new information when she revisits her studies. Ni Yang is flipping through a medical book when she looks up at Mr. Wang and asks, "Master, is there any way to cure mental illnesses?" Old Mr. Wang puts down his wine glass and replies, "There is one method, in fact. It was developed by our ancestral master, Bien Quebec." "Really?" Ni Yang shows interest and puts down her medical book. Old Mr. Wang continues, "But this method is very dangerous. As the ancient said, improper use by a doctor could be life-threatening. Is it that serious?" Ni Yang frowned slightly, then "Master, do you know how to do it?" "Of course I do. I'm your master, how could I not know?" Old Mr. Wang strokes his beard before continuing, "This method is called the Ghost Gate 13 Needles. According to the Emergency 1000 Gold Essential Recipes, Volume 14, Chapter 5 on Wind Epilepsy, it is mentioned," Bien K said, "the needle has 13 holes to treat the illnesses caused by 100 evils. When administering the needles, start with the Ghost Palace, then the Ghost Letter, the Ghost Rampart, and the Ghost Heart. It is not necessary to conduct all 13 needles, just 5 or 6 points could be enlightening. The Ghost Gate 13 Needles is a distinctive therapeutic method from the profound knowledge of acupuncture, and is the most miraculous aspect of Chinese acupuncture. In ancient times, it was a secret technique not taught outside the family of mystical medicine practitioners. It specifically treats various mental disorders, which in modern medical terms include depression, obsessive-compulsive disorder, schizophrenia, and other mental illnesses. This method gathers the essence of various acupuncture methods, utilizes different acupuncture points mechanism, and obtains unique curative effects upon reaching the disease. It holds an important place in the history of world medicine. To this day, medical researchers take the Ghost Gate 13 Needles as one of the important research topics. Old Mr. Wang casually picks up a medical book and hands it to Ni Yang. "You take this book and have a look." Ni Yang takes the medical book. The book is Chinese Medicine, Acupuncture, which contains detailed information about the Ghost Gate 13 Needles. As the name suggests, the Ghost Gate 13 Needles consist of 13 needles, which are administered over the course of 13 days. Also, the requirements for the practitioner are very high. Any slight negligence may result in a backlash. Ni Yang asks, "Master, have you ever applied the Ghost Gate 13 Needles?" "No," old Mr. Wang continues, "the Ghost Gate 13 Needles was a forbidden needle in ancient times. It involves karma. People without considerable merit and virtue cannot use it lightly, else it could result in a reduced lifespan and a discontinuation of their offspring. Usually, doctors would not use this kind of forbidden needle carelessly. Without saying any more words, old Mr. Wang adds, the Ghost Gate 13 needles are highly unorthodox. I've been practicing medicine for many years, and I haven't seen any of my colleagues daring to use it. Not even your senior brother dare to touch it. Ni Yang, don't you act recklessly. It is not easy for me to come across a talented disciple like you. Ni Yang slightly nods, I understand, master. Can I take this book home to study it further? You may. Upon returning home, Ni Yang begins to focus on studying the Ghost Gate 13 needles. She wants to cure Jianghu, she is determined to cure Jianghu. Her sixth sense tells her that Jianghu must know something. Cafe. Zheng Xianjing sits at a window seat, her gaze constantly shifting outside, as if waiting for someone. After a while, a tall man with bronze skin walks in and asks, Hello, are you Miss Zheng? Zheng Xianjing is startled, Who are you? She planned to meet with a classmate. She doesn't recognize the man standing in front of her. At this point, Zheng Xianjing realizes that the usually crowded cafe is only occupied by herself and this man today. The atmosphere is eerily quiet. Who is this man? What does he want to do? My name is Wang Ziki, and I am Master Du's assistant, the man says, while placing a photo on the coffee table. Miss Zheng, is this you? Master Du? The Master Du from the world-famous Bund in Shanghai? Seemingly except for this Master Du, no one else would dare to call themselves as Master Du. No wonder he was able to book the entire cafe. Zheng Xianjing is thrilled, her heart pounding with excitement. Why would Master Du pay attention to her? And why did he get a photograph of her? Could it be, he took a liking to her? Zheng Xianjing keeps her rising thrill in check and nods, yes, this is me. Chapter 770, It's Her _5. Wang Ziki continued, Miss Zheng, did you happen to be near Delen Road one night, 3 months ago? A normal person would definitely not remember something from that long ago. But Zheng Xianjing remembered it very clearly. That night, she discovered that Mo Baichuan was with Zhao Jingrong and was severely humiliated by Jingrong. Zheng Xianjing knew that something was definitely off. She narrowed her eyes and proceeded to say, this photo was taken near an alleyway off Delen Road. I was indeed wearing this beige coat that night. By the way, why were you taking pictures of me? Zheng Xianjing picked up the photo, a look of alertness on her face. Wang Ziki sat directly opposite Zheng Xianjing. It seems Miss Zheng remembers what happened that night. What are you trying to say? Zheng Xianjing narrowed her eyes. Did something happen that night? Wang Ziki continued, Miss Zheng, you are our savior. I assure you, I won't harm you. A savior? Zheng Xianjing was stupefied, her mind racing. Then it dawned on her, Wang Ziki must have mistaken her for someone else. So, what should she do now? Should she go with the flow or deny it straight away? His name was a prominent one in Shanghai's high society. If she denied it, she would lose a good opportunity to come closer to him. Moreover, a savior. If she became his savior, wouldn't she have all Shanghai at her disposal? If Shanghai was hers, she wouldn't need to worry about her old relatives not giving her the Zheng family's wealth. Even the Zheng family would be proud of her. Finally, she could show them. This was a great opportunity. Of course, Zheng Xianjing could not let it pass. Wang Ziki added, Miss Zheng, do you have any wishes to fulfill? You are his savior now, he would do anything to help you. Zheng Xianjing carefully considered her words, then replied, my initial intention to save someone was not to gain anything. Mr. Wang Ziki, don't you think your actions are very disrespectful? The implication of her words was, had she wanted something in return, she wouldn't have left after saving them. At this point, Zheng Xianjing successfully aligned herself with the role of a savior. Her words had a touch of pride to them. I apologize, that was my mistake, Wang Ziki continued. But one should repay life-saving kindness. Miss Zheng, please give us the opportunity to express our gratitude. As he finished, Wang Ziki took out a box filled with diamonds and jewelry and placed it in front of Zheng Xianjing. Miss Zheng, this is a small token of our gratitude, please accept. Having grown up in an affluent family, Zheng Xianjing immediately recognized the jewelry which came from Wei country. It was once worn by a princess of Wei country in the last century. As expected of him, he was indeed generous. Even though Zheng Xianjing was tempted to take the necklace of considerable value, she decided not to. As the saying goes, favors are easily forgotten. What if after taking the necklace, consider her as someone who is fond of vanity, and ignore her? So, she has to bide her time to catch a bigger fish. She needs to make him remember her favor for a lifetime. Zheng Xianjing picked up her bag, stood up sharply from the chair and coolly said, no need. She was not one to love vanity. Therefore, she wouldn't accept his gift. Miss Zheng. Wang Ziki followed Zheng Xianjing's steps. In a corner where Wang Ziki couldn't see, a triumphant smile played across Zheng Xianjing's lips. She had never dreamed that one day she would end up being his savior. Wang Ziki signaled a waiter who quietly stuck out a leg. Zheng Xianjing lost her balance and nearly fell. Fortunately, she grabbed the door frame to steady herself. Wang Ziki rushed forward to help her. Miss Zheng, are you all right? I'm fine. Zheng Xianjing shook her head. Wang Ziki continued, you want to go home? Let me drive you. No need, Zheng Xianjing straightforwardly rejected. We have a chauffeur at home. Also, please don't come to see me anymore. Your actions are very troubling. Even if it weren't you and him that night, would have saved anyone else in your situation. I never intended to gain anything from it. Chapter 771, It's Her _6. Upon finishing what she had to say, Zheng Xianjing turned around and left. Wang Ziki watched as Zheng Xianjing got into a black sedan before turning and heading into the cafe. As soon as he stepped in, he saw a man clad in a plain long robe, walk out. It's not her. What do you mean, it's not her? Wang Ziki was taken aback. Her voice is different, her height is different, and her nimbleness is different too, Di continued. Having interacted with the woman at close quarters that night, Di had failed to get a good look at her face, but he remembered her voice distinctly. Moreover, he recalled that when they brushed past each other, her height was level with his ears. But Zheng Xianjing was considerably shorter than Wang Ziki. Moreover, Di noted that the kick sent towards Zheng Xianjing had been intentionally arranged to gauge her agility. If Zheng Xianjing were indeed remarkably agile, she would not have fallen easily. Miss Zheng didn't fall earlier, Wang Ziki said. That's because she held on to the door, Di noted. Wang Ziki fell silent. After a moment's thought, he said, but she admitted that she was the one there that night. Wang Ziki was a little naive, as he himself didn't lie, he unconsciously assumed that no one else in the world did either. Running his fingers over the Buddha beads, Di said, who wouldn't want to attract wealth to the degree that she does? He had encountered countless women like Zheng Xianjing who try to evade capture by instigating their pursuers to catch them. He was now used to their antics. Incidentally, he came today hoping to make some progress but left feeling disappointed. Could it be that Miss Zheng wasn't the one we encountered that night? Wang Ziki asked. But the car was from the Zheng family. And who else could it be if not her? Don't the Zhengs have anyone apart from Zheng Xianjing? Di retorted. The Zheng family includes old Mr. Zheng and Mrs. Zheng, who are too old to be the person we're looking for. Also, there are Zheng Lingling and her husband's son Wu, who were adopted by the Zhengs. However, after our investigation, it seems that Zheng Lingling didn't go out that evening and son Wu, a grown man, is certainly not the one. The only possible person is Zheng Xianjing. Moreover, her picture was taken by a fan, so there's nothing left to doubt, do ye? It was definitely Zheng Xianjing who saved us. What if this is all a coincidence? Di asked in return. Wang Ziki scratched his head. Are there really so many coincidences in this world? There's no such thing as the perfect story without coincidences, Di mused, running his fingers over the Buddha beads. Identifying his savior was important. Di did not want to mistake her identity mistakenly. This would not only be disrespectful towards the person who saved him, but also irresponsible towards himself. Wang Ziki suddenly seemed to remember something. Right, Di, the Zhengs have recently found their biological daughter, Zheng Tingting. She has a daughter herself, who is about the same age as Zheng Xianjing. But the thing is, Zheng Tingting was only recently reunited with the Zhengs, so the timeline doesn't add up. With narrowed eyes, Di fell silent. Finding himself at a loss, he wondered if he might have been mistaken from the start. Perhaps, the person had seen when returning was not the one who'd come to his aid. Reflecting on this, Di asked, that night, when you were supposed to take me to the hospital and had to go back and forth on the way, how much time had passed before you got back to the mouth of the alley? About, Wang Ziki thought for a moment, 20 minutes or so. 20 minutes. A lot could happen in 20 minutes. No normal person would linger around a dangerous alley for 20 minutes. Moreover, when Di had come out, he thought had seen a bicycle parked in the corner of the alley. But when he came back, the bicycle was missing. Ziki, when you were helping me out, did you see a bicycle on the side? Di pressed on. I don't think so. With Di seriously ill, Wang Ziki had been so anxious that he didn't have the time or disposition to notice anything else. I saw one, Di remarked, eyes narrowed. It was a Phoenix brand bicycle. Wang Ziki said, Di, are you sure you weren't hallucinating? You were severely injured and almost unconscious at the time. How could you possibly observe things so closely? I still think the person was Miss Zheng Xianjing. Had it really just been his hallucination? As he leaned back in his chair, Di tapped his fingers on the table. Then, he took something out of his pocket and handed it to Wang Ziki. Here, give this to Zheng Xianjing. It was a red velvet box that held an exquisite crystal hair clip. Under the light, it glimmered dazzlingly. What a coincidence it was. When he brushed past her, the hair clip she had on fell into his hand. Due to the urgency of the situation, he hadn't had the chance to return it to her then. All right. Wang Ziki took the velvet box and nodded. Chapter 772, Wise Uncle Du, Ignorance. _1 After saying this, Wang Ziki asked again, what if Zheng Xianjing doesn't accept? Zheng Xianjing doesn't seem like a greedy person, otherwise, she would not have rejected that extremely expensive necklace. Master Du was unflustered, leisurely twirling his Buddha beads. If she doesn't accept, let her see what's inside the box. Even though Wang Ziki didn't understand what Master Du meant, he still nodded. After thinking for a moment, Wang Ziki asked, what if even after seeing what's inside the box she still doesn't accept? Master Du glanced at Wang Ziki, then bring it back. All right. Wang Ziki headed out of the room with the small velvet box. As soon as Zheng Xianjing returned, she immediately informed Zheng Lingling about the situation. Zheng Lingling was surprised and stated, Xianjing, are you serious? This man is Master Du. Master Du is an influential figure in Shanghai. The Du family is from Shanghai and they are legendary. If Zheng Xianjing can win Master Du over, her future will be bright. Then, the Zheng family will become the most prominent among all the wealthy families in Beijing. Yes, it's true. Zheng Xianjing nodded. Master Du's assistant personally came to see me. He even gave me a necklace that was worn by a queen from Y country last century. Did you accept it? Zheng Lingling asked anxiously. I didn't, said Zheng Xianjing, shaking her head. Zheng Lingling managed to keep her emotions in control and said, then it's good that you didn't. A man like Master Du has seen all kinds of women. If you accepted something from him today, it would mean that you would owe each other nothing. Who is Master Du? Isn't he surrounded by different types of women? What Zheng Xianjing needs to do is to differentiate herself from others. Only by being different can she catch Master Du's eye. A necklace from the last century is nothing, the most important thing is to gain Master Du's favor. Zheng Lingling truly knows men well. Zheng Xianjing then told Zheng Lingling about how she had refused Master Du's offer. Hearing this, Zheng Lingling repeatedly nodded in agreement. Well done. Xianjing, you did an excellent job. Continue in this manner, only then will you be able to catch Master Du's attention. With Zheng Lingling's reassurance, Zheng Xianjing felt more confident about her actions. She was beautiful and talented. As long as she used a few tricks, she was sure that Master Du would be charmed by her. With sparkling eyes, Zheng Xianjing seemed to envision the envious looks she would get from people in the future. After saying this, Zheng Lingling continued, by the way, your grandparents are coming back today. Remember to behave when they arrive, understand? Zheng Xianjing nodded impatiently. Zheng Lingling patted Zheng Xianjing on the shoulder, bear with it for now. Once you have won over Master Du, they will have to fawn over you whether they like it or not. Okay. In the afternoon, as expected, the old Master Zheng and his wife returned, accompanied by Zheng Suyu, Ni Tsuehua, and Shengguan Dehui. The happy group made Zheng Xianjing and Zheng Lingling feel a little out of place. A hint of displeasure flashed through Zheng Lingling's eyes, but she still walked forward with a smile. Mom, Dad, you're finally back. While you were away, Xianjing kept talking about you. We are back, the old Mrs. Zheng nodded. Xianjing, didn't you have classes today? Zheng Xianjing shook her head. I had no class in the afternoon, and knowing that you and Granddad were returning, as soon as my morning classes ended, I came back. The old Mrs. Zheng held Zheng Xianjing's hand. Good girl, it's a rarity for you to think of us. The old Mrs. Zheng had watched Zheng Xianjing grow from a baby into this graceful young woman. She truly loved this granddaughter of hers. Zheng Xianjing wore a smile on her face, but she had a cold smirk in her heart. That old hag. On the face of it, she treated Zheng Xianjing as a favored granddaughter, but behind her back, she planned to divide the Zheng family's wealth among others, which was detestable. Not long after, the Zheng family had more visitors. Zheng Sheng and Zheng Gao arrived, each bringing their family members with them. The old Mr. and Mrs. Zheng had been absent from home for several days, so naturally, they wanted to make a good impression now that they were back. Even a minor share of the Zheng family's wealth would be enough for them. Zheng Yingyue and Zheng Yingmei were calling everybody aunt and cousin. They couldn't have been more affectionate if they tried. In the past, when they visited the Zheng family, they would try to win Zheng Xianjing over. But now that nobody wanted Zheng Xianjing, they changed their tactics to win over the old Mrs. Zheng, Ni Tsuehua, and little Ni Yun. Chapter 773, Wise Uncle Du, Ignorance. _2. Last time at the family reunion, it was clear to them, Ni Tsuehua and Ni Yang were far from being country folks. Now, making them happy was the most important thing. Zheng Xianjing sat there, her face twisted in anger, but she still maintained a polite smile. She wouldn't lower herself to the level of those who lacked discernment. Just then, a servant walked over and said, Madam, there's someone downstairs looking for Miss Xianjing. Who is it? Zheng Xianjing looked up at the servant. I don't know. The servant shook his head. Didn't he say who he was? Zheng Xianjing asked. No. The servant continued shaking his head. Don't let him wait outside, it's impolite. Xiao Zhao, let the guest in, the old Mrs. Zheng said. Yes, madam. The servant left to get the guest. Soon, the servant returned with a tall man. Zheng Xianjing's eyes brightened, the knots in her heart unraveling. She nudged Zheng Lingling's arm and whispered, Mom, he's Dus assistant, Wang Ziki. Zheng Lingling gave a soft cough and said in a voice only they could hear, "Good, I understand. You must be careful, do not act like the vulgar women outside and displease Du." Zheng Xianjing nodded her head. Of course, she knew this. The servant brought Wang Ziki to them. Wang Ziki bent politely and said, "Miss Zheng." Zheng Xianjing replied with a hint of displeasure, "Why have you come again? Didn't I make myself clear this morning?" As the Zheng family always emphasized manners, old Mrs. Zheng scolded with a stern face, "Xianjing, how can you speak to a guest like this?" Wang Ziki immediately said, "Are you the Zheng parents?" "I'm Wang Ziki, Dus assistant. I'm here today to convey Dus gratitude to Miss Zheng." "Du?" Did old Mrs. Zheng just squint, the Du from Shirley House? The Du from Shirley House was known to be ruthless and sharp, almost everyone in the circle knew him. Hearing this, Shangguan Dehui also looked at Wang Ziki. He had heard about Dus' feats, but he had not expected to meet Dus' assistant today. Yes, Wang Ziki nodded. 3 months ago, Du was in danger in an alleyway on Delen Road. Luckily, a woman with heroic spirit rescued him. After investigation, it was found that the woman was Miss Zheng. Du has been wanting to express his gratitude, but Miss Zheng has refused. What? Zheng Xianjing saved Du? She was Dus' life-saving benefactor. Hearing this, everyone looked at Zheng Xianjing in disbelief. Zheng Xianjing just stood there, her face unchanged, but her heart was racing. This Wang Ziki arrived just in time. Those people who didn't want to interact with her earlier must now be regretting it. With that, Wang Ziki turned to Zheng Xianjing and said, "Miss Zheng, Du would really like to express his gratitude. By the way, this is a gift from Du, please accept it." Wang Ziki spoke while opening a red velvet box as per Dus' orders. In the velvet box was a dazzling crystal hairpin with delicate tassels. It looked stunning. This was a gift from Du. It must be worth a lot. Zheng Yingyue and Zheng Yingmei looked on in envy, their hearts filled with bitterness. They stretched their necks in an attempt to see what was in the box. Most girls liked shiny jewelry. Unfortunately, she was not an ordinary girl. Zheng Xianjing looked at the hairpin and then calmly looked away. "Take it back. I won't accept this." She refused. Zheng Xianjing actually refused. No one expected Zheng Xianjing to decline Dus' gift. Zheng Yingyue was looking with regret in her eyes, wishing she could rush forward and accept the gift on Zheng Xianjing's behalf. "Miss Zheng, this is a token of Dus' gratitude," said Wang Ziki. Zheng Lingling chimed in, "Sir, Xianjing has already made herself clear, please kindly take your gift and leave." Wang Ziki looked troubled. "Please leave," Zheng Xianjing continued, "and do not come again." Chapter 774, Wise Uncle Du, Ignorance. _3. Madame Zheng said, "Sir, as the Buddha says, saving a life is more meritorious than building a 7-storied pagoda. Xianjing saved Mr. Du. She is indeed amassing virtue for herself. Since she doesn't wish to accept these gifts, please take them back." Madame Zheng was very pleased that Zheng Xianjing was so reasonable. Others may not be as indifferent when faced with wealth and power. Wang Ziki bent slightly towards Madame Zheng. "I will come to visit you again." Madame Zheng nodded. With no other option, Wang Ziki had to leave with the unaccepted gifts. After Wang Ziki left, the initially quiet living room immediately became lively. Madame Zheng looked at Zheng Xianjing. "Xianjing, why didn't you tell us about this?" Zheng Xianjing said, "It was just a matter of convenience, I didn't think it was worth mentioning, so I didn't tell you." Zheng Lingling said, "Xianjing has always had a kind heart since she was a child, she wouldn't even hurt an ant on the road." Madame Zheng nodded in satisfaction. Zheng Sheng looked at Zheng Xianjing with a fawning smile. "Saving Mr. Du is not a small matter. You see, Mr. Du is a big shot in Shanghai. Xianjing, I'm your uncle. When you have time, please speak on my behalf in front of Mr. Du, so your cousin Minghui can also benefit from your good deed." Zheng Sheng and his children are all typical snobs. Just a moment ago, they hadn't shown this much enthusiasm. A sarcastic smile formed at the corner of Zheng Xianxia's mouth. Uncle, you joke too much. I don't have the ability to speak on your behalf in front of Mr. Du. Moreover, why would a high-profile person like Mr. Du listen to my ramblings? I'm not joking, how could this be a joke? Zheng Sheng responded, you're the one who saved Mr. Du's life. Zheng Xianxia took a sip of tea and did not say a word. Zheng Gao then added, dear niece, while you're thinking about your cousin Ming Hui, don't forget your cousin Ming Ming. A group of shameless people. Zheng Xianxia put her teacup on the table, turned to Zheng Sheng and Zheng Gao, laughed, isn't it surprising how you uncles suddenly remembered me just now? Even a clay figure has its own temper. Did they really think they could toy with her? An embarrassed look flashed across the faces of Zheng Sheng and Zheng Gao, regretting the fact that they had ignored Zheng Xianxia earlier. They had to change the subject. Sweet niece, there you go joking again. Madame Zheng looked at Zheng Xianxia and continued, Xianxia, it was right of you not to accept Mr. Du's gifts. We, the Zheng family, should behave with such grace. Zheng Xianxia nodded, thank you, grandmother, for your praise. With such an accomplished daughter, even Zheng Lingling seemed brighter. She puffed up her chest, her gaze landed on Ni Tsuehua, her eyes hardening. Just wait, one of these days, she would kick this country bumpkin out of the Zheng family's door. In just a moment, the tone around them shifted. The guests who had just been flattering Ni Tsuehua, now turned their boats and headed for Zheng Lingling and Zheng Xianxia's side. Ni Tsuehua sighed in silence. It is true that the human heart is the most fickle thing in the world. But it also allowed Ni Tsuehua to see the true faces of some people clearly. She initially thought that Zheng Sheng and Zheng Gao, these two family members, were very kind. Now it seems, they are not simple at all. Sun Wu was at work during the day. When he received the news in the evening, he became so happy that he felt like he was about to go crazy. Oh my God! My daughter is so awesome! Zheng Lingling said, what use is it for your daughter to be so awesome, aren't you still a sure loser? If only Sun Wu had a bit of talent, ownership of the Zheng Corporation would have long been transferred, she wouldn't have needed to work so hard. As long as my daughter has the ability, what does it matter if I'm useless? Sun Wu retorted, when Mr. Du will also call me his father-in-law, countless people in Beijing and Shanghai will be envious of me. Zheng Lingling nodded in agreement, you are right about that. However, Xianxia wants to marry Mr. Mog. Although Mr. Du is powerful, he is still a bit lacking compared to Mr. Mog. Although Mr. Du is a tycoon, Mr. Mog is indeed internationally renowned. These two men belong to the one mountain cannot contain two tigers kind. Sun Wu continued, after all, Mr. Mog is virtual, while Mr. Du is concrete, and he came to us on his own initiative. Don't they always say in the old times, to repay someone's life-saving grace, one should promise their body? I think Xianxia should hold on firmly to Mr. Du. Otherwise we'll end up with neither the chicken nor the eggs, and we won't get anything. Chapter 775, Wise Uncle Du, Ignorance. _4. One might say that Sun Wu doesn't usually stand out, and that wouldn't be a false claim. Zheng Lingling kept nodding her head, yes, you're right. I'll go talk to Xianxia right now. Zheng Lingling went to Zheng Xianxia's bedroom where Xianxia was sitting on the sofa watching television. Mom. Zheng Lingling nodded, conveying Sun Wu's words to Zheng Xianxia. Xianxia, I think your dad is right. You have to seize this opportunity to win over Mr. Du. Zheng Xianxia smiled and said, Mom, don't worry, I've got this. Give up on Mr. Mog? Impossible. She wants to marry Mr. Mog, and at the same time, she wants to have Mr. Du fall for her, willing to give all for her. With that, Zheng Xianxia continued, Mom, when do you say I should stop rejecting Mr. Du? Zheng Lingling spoke with a smile on her lips, until he comes to see you himself. Will he come? Zheng Xianjing was a bit worried. What if he doesn't come to see me? Don't worry, Zheng Lingling patted Zheng Xianjing's hand, he will. Zheng Lingling understands men well. Zheng Xianjing's rebellious behavior would pique any man's interest and curiosity. How could Mr. Du not come? After all, what you can't have is always the most appealing. After saying all this, Zheng Lingling returned to her own room. Wang Ziki went directly to Mr. Du's residence. Mr. Du sat at a desk by the window, reading Buddhist scriptures. Without lifting his head at the sound of footsteps, he asked, "Was the item delivered?" "No." Wang Ziki shook his head, placing the small velvet box on the desk. "Not delivered." As expected. Mr. Du's face didn't show any expression. "You found the wrong person." "What?" Wang Ziki was taken aback. Mr. Du calmly turned a page of the Buddhist scripture. Zheng Xianjing is not the one who saved us that night. No need to look for her anymore. Fortunately, she didn't accept the necklace he offered before. Otherwise, he would have made a loss-making deal. Mr. Du never made a bad deal. On what basis are you sure that she wasn't the person from that night? Wang Ziki asked. To Wang Ziki, Zheng Xianjing seemed to be that person from the night. Otherwise, the coincidence would be too much. Because no one would reject their own things. If Zheng Xianjing's initial rejection of the necklace was because she was indifferent to fame and wealth, why would she reject this hairpin? Could she not recognize her own belongings? She was clearly playing hard to get. Did she think Mr. Du was like the impressionable young boys out there? Ignorant. Mr. Du lightly curled his lips. Wang Ziki didn't understand Mr. Du's meaning. Mr. Du didn't bother explaining further. He simply said, "This matter still needs to be investigated." Wang Ziki scratched his head. "Mr. Du, are you sure Zheng Xianjing is not that person?" "No," Mr. Du replied indifferently. Wang Ziki continued, "But that car definitely belongs to the Zheng family." Mr. Du turned another page of the Buddhist scripture. The person in the car that night was Zheng Xianjing, and the person photographed by the fans was Zheng Xianjing, but Zheng Xianjing was not the person who appeared in the alley. If my guess is correct, the real person who saved me should be the owner of that Phoenix brand bicycle. At certain times, people may have a strong sixth sense. Mr. Du trusted his own sixth sense. Because the person who could save him was definitely not an ordinary, vain woman. But this Zheng Xianjing, she was more vain than the average. She even tried the old trick of playing hard to get. How cliched. Wang Ziki scratched his head. "Mr. Du, are you sure that Phoenix bike wasn't just a hallucination?" He always felt that the bicycle was a hallucination of Mr. Du's. No. Despite his serious injuries at the time, Mr. Du was certain it was not a hallucination. With that, Mr. Du stood up from the chair, turned his Buddhist scriptures over, opened the lid of the incense burner, and stoked the burning incense. "You go ahead. Come and tell me when you found out the truth." "Okay." Wang Ziki nodded, turned and walked out the door. Since he couldn't find the real savior, Wang Ziki had to start over with his investigation. This time, he looked into everyone in Beijing who had bought a Phoenix brand bicycle, and began investigating them one by one. Both Zheng Sheng and Zheng Gao were extremely vain. Despite being warned by Mrs. Zheng not to spread around the news about Zheng Xianjing saving people, in less than a day, the whole circle of aristocracy had heard about it. Chapter 776, Wise Uncle Du, Ignorance. _5. Keep in mind, Zheng Xianjing is their grandniece. The grandniece's glory is their glory. Master Du is not someone ordinary rich families can get in touch with. Who wouldn't be envious of Zheng Xianjing at this moment? Those who had previously ignored Zheng Xianjing, were now back flattering her in every possible way. Flattery is built on belittling others. To flatter someone, you must relentlessly belittle someone. Thus, Ni Yang became the one everyone was stepping on. Even though Mr. Abner supported N.I. Yang, how could Mr. Abner compare to Master Du? Abner is from F country, his power is in F country. In China, he is just a wealthy foreigner. Xianjing, who is N.I. Yang? She's just a country bumpkin. You, on the other hand, are a legitimate rich and noble lady. What can she compare with you? Zheng Xianjing, as proud as a peacock, lifted the corners of her mouth into a triumphant smile. Siyu, do you really think so? Zhang Siyu nodded, of course it's true. Zheng Xianjing laughed softly, intending to embarrass her, but didn't I hear you say a while ago, that blood is thicker than water? How can a foster daughter compare to a biological one? Zhang Siyu looked somewhat embarrassed and pretended to have forgotten. Did I? I don't remember saying that. We've been sisters for so many years, Xianjing, how could I say that about you? Zheng Xianjing pointed at her ear. I heard you loud and clear, was it not so? It seems that Zheng Xianjing is not going to let this matter go today. Zhang Siyu said with a forced smile, Xianjing, my dear sister, even if I said that, can't you forgive me just this once for not seeing the bigger picture? It's all my fault for underestimating people. If it were not for Zheng Xianjing's current success, who would be willing to put up with her mood? Look at her smug expression. In her heart, Zhang Siyu cursed Zheng Xianjing 1,000 times. Zheng Xianjing glanced at Zhang Siyu. Siyu, you were right about one thing, you should never underestimate people. Zhang Siyu forced a smile, echoing, yes, 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 you're right, Xianjing. So, can you forgive me now? Since you admitted you were looking down on people, how about doing an impersonation of a dog's bark for me? Zheng Xianjing continued. At these words, a ripple of laughter went around the room. The wealthy daughters looked at each other, seeing the amusement in each other's eyes. Even the usual sisterhood was gone, and no one came forward to mediate the situation. Such was the plasticky sisterhood of the wealthy households. Zhang Siyu's face turned green and white. Xianjing, stop kidding. Zheng Xianjing turned to Zhang Siyu, I'm not joking with you. Zhang Siyu took a deep breath, opened her mouth and under enormous pressure, made a dog's bark. The room immediately erupted in laughter. Zheng Xianjing burst out laughing, surprised, Siyu, I was just kidding with you, I didn't expect you to actually bark like a dog. Zhang Siyu stared at Zheng Xianjing. What are you talking about? Zheng Xianjing repeated, I said I was joking. I didn't expect you to take it seriously. To gain Master Du's protection, would you even abandon all dignity? But your barking really does sound like a dog. While saying the last two sentences, Zheng Xianjing burst into laughter, and everyone else joined in. Their laughter was like a thorn, piercing Zhang Siyu all over. She was utterly humiliated. Zhang Siyu's fury was instantly ignited by Zheng Xianjing. She stood up abruptly, a joke. Zheng Xianjing, you dare to joke about this? Zheng Xianjing had a hint of smile on her lips. What? Angry and embarrassed? When you were humiliating me, you never thought this day would come. Zhang Siyu was so angry that she was shaking all over. She grabbed her bag and stormed off. Even if Zheng Xianjing never had the intention to forgive her from the start, she shouldn't have toyed with her like this. This was too hateful. Zheng Xianjing didn't care about this matter, a mere Zhang Siyu wasn't worthy of her attention. These days, Zheng Xianjing received many gifts, including jewelry, the supreme skincare products with a radiant glow, and a VIP membership card from a famous boutique. Looking at these precious and luxurious gifts, Zheng Xianjing once again realized the importance of power. Chapter 777, Wise Uncle Du, Ignorance. _6. Take for instance the coveted membership card to Wuxia Xianxia. It's not something you can simply buy with money, you have to seize the right moment. She had heard of Wuxia Xianxia before and always wanted to go, but there was always a queue, and she hated having to lower herself to wait in a line, so it remained just a thought. Now, someone was actually offering her a membership card and pleading for her to accept it. These days, Zheng Xianjing had been feeling extraordinarily pleased with herself, but gradually, she started to become restless. Because Wang Ziki hadn't visited her for a week. That's not right. Logically speaking, Wang Ziki should have come long ago. Could something have gone wrong? Zheng Xianjing promptly went to Zheng Lingling to discuss her concerns. Mom, what do you think is going on? Zheng Lingling didn't take this matter to heart and laughed, saying, there's nothing to worry about. If Master Du is trying to test you, hanging you out to dry for a month is normal. For now, all you need to do is keep still. Don't be like an ant on a hot pan, then you wouldn't be any different from those vulgar fans. Playing hard to get wasn't only a strategy women used, men of power and influence would use it too. After her speech, Zheng Lingling gave a meaningful reminder. Xianjing, if you want to achieve something big, you have to be patient. The longer you lay low, the greater the rewards. Being reassured by Zheng Lingling like this made Zheng Xianjing feel a lot better. Mom, you're right. I know what to do. Zheng Lingling nodded. Good. There weren't many classes in school these days, so Zheng Xianjing stayed home every day. Those who wanted to curry favor with her were practically trampling over the Zheng household's doorstep. Seeing so many visitors bringing gifts to Zheng Xianjing every day, Mrs. Zheng couldn't help but say, Xianjing, there's an old saying that one shouldn't accept rewards for nothing. Isn't it a bit inappropriate to accept these gifts from other people? Inappropriate? What's inappropriate about it? These weren't things she wanted, but things others were pleading for her to accept. That old hag, she's only being critical because Ni Yang's popularity had been overshadowed by her. She was too much. Zheng Xianjing said with a smile, Grandmother, I understand what you're saying. I don't want to accept their gifts either, but they insist on giving them to me. Furthermore, they haven't asked me to do anything in return. They give me gifts and I also return gifts to them. This is normal among friends. Upon hearing this, Mrs. Zheng felt somewhat relieved. It's fine as long as you're returning gifts. Us Zhengs shouldn't do anything to provoke gossip. Ni Yang had been very busy recently. She had to study the 13 ghost needle techniques, manage the sound system at the shop, visit the noodle restaurant, milk tea shop, ice skin jade body shop, and Guosei Tianxiang regularly, and also find time to take her school exams. After the exams, Ni Yang and Han Xiaoyu went home together. Han Xiaoyu didn't have a bike, so Ni Yang was able to give her a ride. When they reached their destination, Han Xiaoyu jumped off from the back seat. Yang, there's still time, why don't you come to my house and hang out? In her previous life, Ni Yang didn't have many close friends, so in this life, she felt especially grateful for any friendships that came her way. She nodded, sure. Han Xiaoyu comes from an average wage-earning family. Both her parents worked in the factory. Her father, Han Shengli, was the factory manager, her mother was the workshop director, and the two of them earned a combined monthly salary of 120 yuan. They had 3 children and owned a house in Beijing, living life neither too well off nor too poorly. They were an upper-middle-class family. Mom, this is my classmate Ni Yang. She's our school's campus beauty and the all-rounder I've been telling you about, who jumped grades and even came first in the exams. Just call her Yang. All parents like high-achieving girls. On hearing Han Xiaoyu say this, Han's mother was quick to say, oh, this is Ni Yang. So the good student looks like this. Come on in and have a seat, come on in and have a seat. Xiaoyu has told me all about you. You don't mind if I call you Yang, do you? Ni Yang is not only an excellent student but also very attractive, it's hard not to like her. I don't mind. Ni Yang shook her head with a smile, that's what names are for. Just look at the way this girl speaks. Everything about Ni Yang seemed perfect to Han's mom. On the other hand, Xiaoyu could do no right in her eyes. In conclusion, all the good daughters belong to others. Seeing Yang manners, Han's mother couldn't help but offer her the treasured oranges from home. Yang, have an orange. Don't hesitate to make yourself at home at Auntie's place. I heard from Xiaoyu that you've helped her a lot with her studies. Thank you so much. Ever since she became Yang's classmate, Xiaoyu's grades had significantly improved. The teacher even said it was a sure thing that she would get into a university. Yang chuckled, Auntie, you don't have to be so formal. It's normal for classmates to help each other. Her words resonated deeply with Han's mother, and she thought to herself how considerate and endearing this girl was. Han's mother hurriedly peeled an orange for Yang, eat up and don't be a stranger to Auntie. Yang took the fruit with a word of thanks, thank you, Auntie. Han's mother said, you girls chat. I'll go out and take a walk. Young people have their own topics to chat about. She couldn't contribute to the conversation and would rather go out and have a chat with some friends. It's hard to find a day to rest. Yang nodded, take care, Auntie. After Han's mother left, Han Xiaoyu said, Yang, do you know? My mom is usually very tight-fisted, and this is the first time she's been so generous. When Han's mother took out the oranges, Xiaoyu was shocked. She couldn't believe the woman in front of her was the same person who had argued and fought over a needle. Yang laughed and said, I think Auntie is quite nice, she's very reasonable. Han Xiaoyu made a merciless comment about her own mother, she is quite reasonable, but she tends to be stingy and stubborn. You don't know this, but years ago she had a fight with Aunt Wang over a needle. Now the two of them wouldn't speak to each other even when they cross paths. Just then, footsteps could be heard outside. Is Aunt Han home? Who is it? My mom is not home, come on in. Han Xiaoyu called out without looking up. In a short while, the visitor came in from the yard. Sister Xiaoyu, you're home. Hey, race the 2 yuan I borrowed from your house last time. I'm returning it to you. Yun. Han Xiaoyu stood up from her chair. By the way, how's your grandmother? Is she feeling better? Wu Yun nodded, she's much better after taking the medicine. That's good, Han Xiaoyu said. Let me introduce you, Yun. This is my classmate and good friend, Yang. Yang, this is Wu Yun, one of our neighbors. Just call her Yun. Yang walked over with a smile, nice to meet you. Chapter 778, Direct Confrontation, What is her name? _1 Typically, beautiful people have always had a knack for making lasting impressions. Wu Yun couldn't help but feel a sense of familiarity with the pretty young lady standing in front of her. Before she could gather her thoughts, Yang initiated, Yun, do we know each other from somewhere? Standing slightly shorter than Yang, Wu Yun tethered somewhere around 5 feet 4, her body thin, her complexion somewhat yellow from what could be attributed to long periods of malnutrition, which also seemed to have tinged her hair the same shade of yellow. Her features were distinct, her big eyes full of life and animated, almost as though they were capable of speech. In the almost May weather, she was still wearing a quilted cotton jacket, evidently indicative of her family's dire economic situation. Wu Yun had not expected such friendly and warm behavior from the young lady. She didn't seem to mind Yun's dirty appearance, and suddenly, it hit Yun, you were the one riding the bike on the street that day, right? Once Yun said this, Yang started to remember, yes. That's right. Did you get injured then? During that occasion, Wu Yun had left in such a rush that Yang hadn't been able to ascertain whether she had been injured or not. Wu Yun smiled and replied, no, I'm all right. Your bike didn't even touch me last time. That's good to hear. Visibly surprised, Han Xiaoyu questioned, Yang, you and Yun know each other? Yang explained the entire incident to Han Xiaoyu, laughing as she recounted their strange meeting. Han Xiaoyu nodded, oh, so that's what happened. Wu Yenyun did have chores to do back home and could not stay for too long. After a brief chat, she prepared to depart. Xiaoyu, Yang should get going. Han Xiaoyu continued, oh, by the way, Yenyun, when will you start school? At her words, Wu Yenyun wore a dispirited look on her face. My mom just had another baby, I can't leave the house for a while. I have no clue when I'll be able to attend school. Han Xiaoyu chose not to say anything more, but asked her to wait a moment. Wait here. I'll be back. All right. Wu Yenyun gave a nod. Han Xiaoyu ran back into the house and returned shortly after with a red plastic bag. Yenyun, this is for you. The bag contained a few leftover pancakes from breakfast and 2 oranges. Wu Yenyun declined right away. Xiaoyu, I cannot accept this. You should take it back. Han Xiaoyu insisted, keep it. We can't finish it all anyway. Don't hesitate. Just take it. You should head back now. Your baby brother might start crying again. Then, thank you Xiaoyu. In those times, no one was wealthy enough. Han Xiaoyu's generosity touched Wu Yenyun deeply. After Wu Yenyun had left, Han Xiaoyu shared Yanyun's domestic conditions with Yang. Wu Yanyun's father was disabled and could only perform some manual labor. Despite her mother's competence, a woman having so many children left her crushed under the burden of life. Wu Yanyun's family was, therefore, in a very bad situation. That's why Wu Yenyun was still wearing a quilted cotton jacket even in mid-May. Regardless of the era, there are always the rich and the poor. Equality of wealth always remains an unfeasible dream. Yang was left sighing after hearing this. On returning home, Wu Yenyun found her 2 brothers playing in the mud and the other one sleeping soundly in his crib. Her 2 brothers, 9 and 7 respectively, were both of school-going age but unable to attend due to their family circumstances. How could Wu Yenyun burden her mother with the need for her own education? Wu Yenyun divided the 3 oranges into 5 parts. For her father, her mother, her 2 brothers, and her grandmother. Big sis, where'd you get these oranges? They are so sweet. Delicious. Her elder brother, Wu Dalong, swallowed all his share in one gulp. Her younger brother, Wu Erlong, looked at the 3 pieces of orange in his hand and immediately offered them to Wu Yenyun. Big sis, I don't like sour food. I won't eat it, but you can have it. He wanted to keep the oranges for his older sister because when there were good things, she always thought of them first while going without herself. Wu Yenyun patted Wu Erlong's little head, smiling, you have it. Big sis has already eaten. These oranges aren't sour. They are sweet. Big sis, you should have it. I don't feel like eating them. Wu Erlong showed a reluctant face. Wu Yenyun understood her little brother's sentiment, eat it soon, or I will give it to Dalong. On hearing that he could have another piece of orange, Wu Dalong's eyes lit up with excitement. Chapter 779, Direct Confrontation, What is her name? _2. Upon hearing that the orange was for Wu Dalong, Wu Erlong immediately retracted his hand, then, I'll eat it myself. Wu Dalong wasn't happy. Erlong, didn't you say you didn't like it? That was just now I do. Wu Erlong quickly stuffed the orange into his mouth. Wu Yenyun watched the exchange between his 2 younger brothers with amusement before walking towards their grandmother's room. Their grandmother was a product of the feudal society and still had bound feet. As such, she was incapable of heavy labor and mostly stayed at home. Grandma, here is an orange. Wu Yenyun offered the orange to his grandmother. Give it to Dalong and Erlong, I don't really like it, replied his grandmother after a glance. Please, try it. Both Dalong and Erlong have already had theirs. Wu Yenyun said. No, take it to your parents. I don't want it. His grandmother shook her head. Elders often tend to keep the best for the younger ones, disregarding their own needs. Mom and Dad also have their share, I'll leave it here for you," said Wu Yenyun, placing the orange on the table. "If I say take it away, take it away." Grandma Wu suddenly raised her voice, "You stubborn girl, why do you always argue with me?" Having no other choice, Wu Yenyun took back the orange. "Your parents work so hard during the day, let them have a bit more," Grandma Wu advised. "All right." Wu Yenyun nodded in agreement. Returning to her room, Wu Yenyun found her youngest brother, Wu Xiaolong, awake. Wu Xiaolong was just 3 months old. At his fussiest time now, he demanded to be carried the moment he awoke. Yan Erge's breast milk didn't flow well. Her children were not plump and fair as one might expect, but rather lean and slightly dark-skinned. While Wu Yenyun was holding her brother in the yard, a plump middle-aged woman entered. "Yenyun is at home." "Yes, I am." Wu Yenyun stood up. "Landlady Auntie is here." The landlady's surname was also Wu, Wulan. She was the complete opposite of the Wu family. They were all dark and slender, while she was fair and tubby, looking as if she carried several swim rings around her waist. "It's mid-month, did you prepare the rent?" Wu Lan inquired. Wu Yenyun nodded. "I'll fetch it right away." The rent was 10 yuan a month. Despite being in financial straits, the Wu family never defaulted on their rent. Wu Lan was a kind person. Knowing the Wu family's condition, she only charged them 10 yuan a month for rent originally worth 12 yuan. Wu Yenyun fetched a 10 yuan note that her mother had pre-arranged and handed it to Wu Lan. "Landlady Auntie, please take this." After accepting the money, Wu Lan glanced into the room. "Yenyun, are your parents not at home?" Hum. Wu Yenyun nodded. Wu Lan sighed. "It's tough on you, bearing such burden at such a young age. Which family in Beijing would have a girl this young drop out of school to take care of her siblings?" But then again, there was no other choice. Grandma Wu couldn't do manual labor due to her bound feet, and her 3 brothers were still young. Wu Yenyun shook her head. "I'm not suffering, landlady Auntie." Wu Lan smiled. "Auntie knows you're capable." Not only was she capable, but she was also pretty. With those big eyes and prominent nose, which other girl in the neighborhood could compete? If she got an education, went to university, she could become a golden phoenix. What a pity though, wrong family. Just then, Grandma Wu came out of the room, leaning on her walking stick. "Auntie, it's me." Wu Lan greeted enthusiastically. Grandma Wu approached slowly. "Oh, it's Lanzi." "Auntie, I was just praising Yenyun. Not only is she pretty, but she's also so sensible. You'll be blessed in the future." A smile didn't cross Grandma Wu's face. "We're so impoverished, what use is beauty? It can't be eaten like rice or spent like cash. The rich derive pleasure from beauty. But what use does a poor person have for beauty? Beauty can't save you from hunger." Wu Lan forced a smile. "Well, Auntie, I've got other things to do. I won't bother you more. I have to leave now. Go on with your work. Don't let an old ruin like me hold you up," nodded Grandma Wu. After Wu Lan left, Grandma Wu returned to her small room with the help of her walking stick. The thing Grandma Wu did most every day was spacing out in front of the window. Her son and daughter-in-law were struggling so much. She wished she could help, but regretfully there wasn't much she could do about it. After calming down her little brother, it was time for Wu Yenyun to prepare dinner. The rice jar was almost empty. Watered-down rice porridge was the only option. The leftovers from the restaurant a few days ago had long been eaten. Fortunately, there were still pancakes given by Han Xiaoyu, enough to scrape together a meal for the night. Chapter 780, Direct Confrontation. What is her name? _3. Wu Yenyun stewed porridge while holding her younger brother. By the time the porridge was ready, Yan Erju and Wu Jinshu had returned home. Yan Erju worked at the rice shop, carrying 150 caddies of rice per bag for 2 cents. 10 bags of rice amounted to 1 cent, and Yen Erju could carry 60 bags a day, earning about 1.2 yuan a day. But not every day of the month had work at the rice shop. On average, only 15 days of the month did, which meant that Yen Erju made about 18 yuan a month. Because of his disabilities, Wu Jinshu could only do odd jobs at the construction site, earning only 0.2 yuan a day. The couple's combined monthly income was 24 yuan. But with 4 children to raise and other necessities, housing, water and electricity to pay for, they were almost always in debt by the end of the month. Wu Yenyun was a very sensible little girl. Yen Erju and Wu Dalong were busy with work, so they didn't have to worry about the house, which Wu Yenyun kept tidy. Wu Yenyun served the food on the table. "Mom, Dad, dinner's ready." Dinner was very simple, just porridge and pancakes, with a side of pickles. Yen Erju nodded approvingly. "Was Xiaolong a good boy today?" Wu Yenyun replied, "Xiaolong was very good." "That's good to hear." Yen Erju loved her eldest daughter very much. If it weren't for her, their family might not pull through. Despite their struggles, life wasn't that terrible. Wu Yenyun brought out some oranges. "Mom, Dad, have some oranges." Wu Jinshu was surprised. "Xiaoyun, where did you get these oranges from?" They could certainly not afford to buy oranges considering their current state. Wu Yenyun explained, "Oh, never mind that. Dad doesn't like oranges. Dalong, you and Erlong can have these." Dalong happily took the orange. Erju, with hands empty, smiled, "I don't like them either, Erlong. You can have it." Wu Erlong shook his head, "Sis already gave me one." "You should have it, Mom." "I don't want it." Wu Erlong still refused. "I want it." Wu Dalong, ever the glutton, took the orange from Yen Erju and began to eat it hungrily. Wu Yenyun reprimanded him, "You are such a glutton." Dalong made a face at Wu Yenyun. Yen Erju laughed, "He's the younger one, Xiaoyun. You should let him have his way." Despite being reasonable, Wu Yenyun still felt upset as she felt Dalong was too unreasonable. Yen Erju, on the other hand, felt it was just normal for kids. Once they've grown up, they would understand. During dinner, Wu Yenyun said, "Mom, our landlord came for the rent today. Did you pay it?" Yen Erju asked. Wu Yenyun nodded, "I did." Then she added, "By the way, Mom, we're out of rice at home." Although this topic was a bit heavy, it had to be addressed. Without rice, there would be no meals. Yen Erju took 2 yuan out of her pocket. "I just received this as my pay today. Spend it carefully." 2 yuan was a significant amount for the Wu family, but Yen Erju trusted Wu Yenyun. She knew her eldest daughter wouldn't spend money frivolously. "Okay." Wu Yenyun nodded. Just as she did, Wu Jinshu finished his meal, and she went to serve him more. Granny Wu, who usually ate 3 bowls of porridge, put down her chopsticks after only 2 bowls. "I'm full. I'm going to bed." In those hard times, people ate less. Wu Jinshu was surprised. "Mom, why did you eat so little today?" "I can't eat anymore." Granny Wu replied. It wasn't that she couldn't eat anymore or that she was full, she just wanted to save a bit more. She was old, and if she could save, she would let the children eat more. The kitchen was at the other end of the yard. As she was returning to her room, Granny Wu bumped into Wu Yenyun, who was bringing back rice. Wu Yenyun asked, "Granny, have you finished eating?" Granny Wu nodded, "I'm done." Then, as though she'd just remembered something, she added, "We don't have enough food at home. Your dad and mom work hard every day, and Dalong, Erlong, and Xiaolong are all growing children. You and I are the only ones who don't work, let's eat less." After saying this, Granny Wu turned and walked towards her room. Wu Yenyun was startled. It took her a moment to understand what Granny Wu meant. Chapter 781, Direct Confrontation, What is her name? _4. She felt wronged. Even on the verge of tears. But she kept them at bay. She's the elder sister. She mustn't cry. Wu Yenyun took a deep breath. After composing herself, she finally stepped into the room. At dinner, her father Wu Jinshu noticed something was amiss. Xiaoyun, why are you eating so little today? Wu Yenyun laughed and replied, I was making pancakes in the afternoon, and my stomach was grumbling, so I ate a couple atop, and now I can't eat any more. Wu Jinshu said, it's been hours since the afternoon, shouldn't you be hungry by now? Dad, I'm not hungry, do you think I'm a fool who doesn't know to eat when hungry? Wu Yenyun responded. Then Yen Erju chimed in, Xiaoyun, you must eat. Even though we are poor, we still have money to afford food. Wu Yenyun laughed, Mom, where is your mind wandering off to? Seeing that Shed indeed had enough, her parents said no more about it. After dinner, Wu Yenyun started the dishes and cleaning. Wu Erlong hurried over to help. Sister, let me dry the dishes for you. Wu Yenyun said, thank you, Erlong. Just then, a voice came from outside the kitchen, Dalong, Erlong, come over here. Grandma is calling me, I'll go first. Wu Erlong put down the dish. Go ahead. Off the brothers went into Grandma's tiny room. Grandma, what do you need us for? Wu Dalong asked. Grandma stealthily brought out a greasy package from behind her, see what this is. On realizing the package contained 3 lard pancakes, Wu Dalong exclaimed excitedly, ah! Lard! Grandma quickly shushed him, why are you yelling? Do you want to bring everyone here? Wu Dalong nodded. With so many mouths to feed, would there be enough to go around? Wu Dalong nodded again. Grandma doled out a pancake each to Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong. Left one for Wu Jinshu. Given Wu Jinshu's poor health, it would be a good fortifier. These 3 pancakes were sent by Grandma Wu's daughter earlier in the day. She saved them until now, waiting for Jinshu to return so that she could give them to the children. Knowing Dalong's nature, Erlong didn't refuse. He stuffed the pancake into his pocket, thank you, Grandma. Silly child, why be polite with your grandma? Just remember to hide it from others. Grandma Wu advised. Wu Erlong nodded in reply. At bedtime, once Wu Erlong heard his brother snoring, he stealthily crossed over to the other side. His elder sister was sleeping next door. The 3 siblings actually slept in one room, but Jinshu had segregated the room with a curtain in consideration of their genders. Short on rooms and cash strapped to rent a larger house, they had to resort to such measures. It was all pushed by life's harsh circumstances. Elder sister. Wu Erlong gently nudged Wu Yenyun. What's wrong, Erlong? Wu Yenyun rubbed her eyes. Elder sister, I have something for you. Wu Erlong pressed a tantalizing item into Wu Yenyun's palm, which instantly made her mouth water, given she hadn't had her fill at dinner. A lard pancake? Where did you get it? Wu Yenyun asked. Wu Erlong answered, Grandma gave it to me secretly. Please eat it quickly, I've already had one. As he finished, he made a beeline for his own bed. Wu Yenyun's eyes welled up, barely holding back her tears. This lard pancake was, in her memory, the most delicious one she'd ever tasted. Years later, she still remembered this particular night vividly. Her grandmother subtly hinted to her not to eat too much and to save food, while her little brother presented her with a lard pancake. There's no price tag on love. Wu Yenyun had choked down that pancake with tears in her eyes. Ni Tsuehua and Shengwan Dehui moved to the Zheng family's house again. Naturally, Ni Yen went with them. The Zheng family had been bustling these days with a constant flow of guests. Whenever Zheng Xianjing passed Ni Yen, she held her head high, extremely proud, even though Ni Yen had no clue what she was so smug about. In the living room, Zheng Lingling made Zheng Xianjing the center of attention, smilingly saying, "Mom and Dad, I heard there's a newly opened restaurant in Beijing that's doing great business. The food is absolutely delicious, and the ambience is excellent as well. The only drawback is the membership card requirement. If you don't have one, you will have to queue with many others. Those with membership cards, however, will be provided with private rooms." Chapter 782, Direct Confrontation, What is her name? _5. Ni Yang gave a smiling response, "You're referring to the Gustianxiang restaurant, aren't you?" Upon hearing the words, Gustianxiang, Ni Kuihua's expression shifted subtly. Ni Yang had informed her beforehand not to speak about ice-skin jade flesh and Gustianxiang to anyone, so she didn't even tell the Zheng family. The Zheng family, not to mention Shengguan Dehui, didn't have a clear understanding either. These businesses belonged to Ni Yang, not hers, so she didn't bring them up to show off. Zheng Lingling didn't expect this country bumpkin, Ni Yang, to even know about Gustianxiang. Yes, that's right, Gustianxiang. I initially thought of taking everyone, including your grandparents, for a meal there, but unfortunately their membership cards are in limited supply, you can't just apply for one. Good thing she has a very capable daughter. Even such a sought-after membership card was offered to her. Next, Zheng Lingling could continue to diminish Ni Yang while boasting her own daughter, Zheng Xianjing. Yang, you must really want to dine in such a good restaurant, aren't you? Zheng Lingling continued, well, you're in luck. You can just bask in Xianjing's glory today. Just a few days ago, someone gifted her a membership card. Upon hearing this, everyone else looked at Zheng Xianjing in surprise, envy filling their eyes. Zheng Xianjing was indeed extraordinary. Even a Gustianxiang VIP membership card was given to her on a silver platter. Everyone knew that Gustianxiang's VIP membership card was going for 5,888 yuan on the market, the key point being, it was priceless due to scarcity. Ni Yang smiled faintly, I can go whenever I want to. Zheng Lingling sneered, then you must be prepared for the queue. Ordinary customers and VIP ones are treated differently, like difference between commoners and the emperor. Xianjing, as a cardholder, gets direct access to the VIP rooms on the third floor. How could a person like Ni Yang possibly have a membership card? I don't have a membership card. Ni Yang responded flatly. Upon hearing this, a satisfied smile spread across Zheng Xianjing's face. She knew it. How could someone like Ni Yang, a little country girl, possibly possess such a luxurious item as a VIP card? Breaking the silence, Ni Yang, with a change of tone, continued, but I can enter their VIP rooms on the third floor by showing my face. There was no such thing as face identification in this era. Everyone was looking at Ni Yang in confusion. Zheng Xianjing stared coldly at Ni Yang. Face identification? What face identification? It should be shameless, right? Ni Yang continued to explain, by face identification, I mean, while they check everyone else's membership cards, I am their VIP, so I don't need any card to enter. Just my face is enough. Bragging. A contemptuous voice sounded from the side. The speaker was Lu Kursan, Zheng Xianjing's bestie. She had to do a good job of kissing up to Zheng Xianjing, who was in her moment of glory. Ni Yang didn't get angry, continuing, if Miss Lu doesn't believe me, how about we make a bet? How are we betting? Lu Kursan didn't believe a word this country bumpkin, Ni Yang, was saying. Her best friend was also a Gustianxiang VIP customer and she had never heard of any face identification service provided by Gustianxiang. Ni Yang continued, if I can get into the VIP rooms on the third floor of Gustianxiang by face identification, Miss Lu will pay for everyone's meal today, how about that? Sure. Do you dare to go? Lu Kursan provoked. Ni Yang replied with a smile, as long as Miss Lu has the guts, I can go all the way. Alright, then it's a deal. Zheng Xianjing stood up and said, Grandparents, let's go now. I never knew that Gustianxiang offered a face identification service. It's a good thing that Yang is here to show us. Mr. and Mrs. Zheng knew that Ni Yang never spoke without assurance. They laughed and said, right on, we also want to see whether Gustianxiang is as good as you all claim it to be. The group headed to Gustianxiang. Mr. Zheng, who was leading the way, looked at the big sign and couldn't help but exclaim, Gustianxiang, The calligraphy is really good, the calligrapher must be a great talent. Ni Yang could not help but blush a little. Lu Kursan was waiting for a chance to make fun of her. She turned to Ni Yang and said, Didn't you say you could get in by showing your face? Well, you should lead the way then. Ni Yang stepped forward. There was still a long queue at the entrance. The two greeters, who were new, asked, Hello, how many are you? Do you have a membership card? Chapter 783, Direct Confrontation, What is her name? _6. Upon hearing this, a mocking expression appeared on Zheng Xianjing and the others' faces. Zheng Xianjing walked over to Ni Yang, intending to teach her a few lessons as the elder sister, to not brag and to be down to earth. Just as she was about to start, two other receptionists in traditional Han clothing walked out. Sorry for the wait, Miss Ni. The new hires didn't know about your identity. Please follow me. No problem, Ni Yang smiled slightly. This left Zheng Xianjing stunned. Lu Kursan was also stunned. Lu Kursan quickly grabbed one of the receptionists by the sleeve. You're mistaken, right? She can enter without a membership card? The receptionist smiled and replied, As Ms. Ni is our esteemed VIP guest, she can indeed enter without a card. Zheng Xianjing clenched her fist. She had hoped to seize this opportunity to show off, but instead, Ni Yang stole the limelight. How infuriating. Since Lu Kursan was paying, Ni Yang didn't hold back and ordered the most expensive dishes. The total cost of the meal would amount to no less than 7,000 to 8,000 yuan. Seeing the prices on the menu made Lu Kursan wince. If she had anticipated this, she wouldn't have pretended to be generous. While she wasn't short on money, still, 8,000 yuan was enough for her to travel abroad 2 to 3 times. The theme of the restaurant, National Beauty, was traditional Chinese. With wall murals depicting scenes from the painting along the river during the Qingming festival, hand-carved lamps, and even redwood handmade chairs, the classical decor stood out as a breath of fresh air in an era that idolizes modern design and Western culture. Old Master Zheng looked around and commented, The owner is no ordinary person, they have a rich cultural background. Madame Zheng nodded in agreement, I reckon they must be of considerable age. The younger generation these days are not fond of old-style things. Weddings in ancient times were grand affairs complete with phoenix crowns and red wedding gowns. Now, they wore white wedding dresses instead. Madame Zheng, having lived through those days, had a hard time accepting white in a festive celebration such as marriage. The most crucial thing about National Beauty wasn't just the service or the environment but the taste of their dishes, which was simply unparalleled. Whenever someone dines here, they would immediately think of National Beauty whenever they thought about dining out in the future. Halfway through the meal, Ni Yang excused herself to conduct some business with Gu Lanji, as she considered this a good opportunity to discuss the restaurant's revenue. The third floor was a VIP area and thus was quiet, but the second floor was quite bustling with food carriers and customers. As Ni Yang was descending the stairs, a food carrier crossed paths with her. The food carrier was a tall girl who didn't notice a banana peel on the stairs as her hands were full. She stepped on it, losing her balance, and was about to tumble over. Just then, 2 people, one on each side, reached out and steadied her arm while 2 other hands prevented the tray and food from tipping over. Be careful. 2 voices echoed out at the same time. One voice was gentle and calm, like an April breeze. The other voice was warm and soothing, reminiscent of the sound emanating from an ancient bronze bell. The girl was visibly scared and quickly said, "Thank you, sir, thank you, ma'am," before hurrying off to deliver her dishes. Only then did Yang realize that she and a man dressed in a scholar's robe had saved the food carrier. Unlike modern men, he was dressed in an ancient robe with a pair of simple fabric shoes on his feet, his hair neatly combed back into a ponytail, and a string of Buddha beads in his hand. His fair skin contrasted with the brown beads, his hands well defined. Strangely, his hands appeared more beautiful than a lattice by threefold. His manner was gentle and courteous, making it hard to guess his actual profession. While she was observing him, he was also observing her. She was beautiful, probably the first impression of most people. His gaze reminded him of a line of poetry, "Only Muten truly represents the national beauty, when it blooms, it stirs Beijing." "The young lady possesses remarkable agility," said the man, none other than Mr. Du. Yang gave a faint smile, likewise. This man's quick reaction indicated that he was well trained in martial arts. His skill was not in line with his outward appearance and personality. Yang didn't say much more. She picked up the banana peel from the stairs and continued down. Mr. Du was slightly taken aback. He turned to watch Yang's figure leaving a furrow in his brows. Her voice seemed familiar. Where did he hear it? A beautiful lady like her would have left a deep impression if they had met before. But he couldn't recall where he had seen her. Yang found Gulanji downstairs, discussed the business matters and emphasized on the restaurant sanitation. Had she and that man not responded promptly, the consequences would have been disastrous and it would have negatively impacted the customers on the stairway. Upon hearing this, Gulanji felt a chill. If the food carrier had fallen, she, as the manager, would also have to bear the blame. Luckily, it didn't happen. "Sure Yang, I understood. I'll discuss with the cleaning department to increase their frequency of work to ensure such an accident doesn't repeat." Yang nodded. "By the way, which private room is the man dressed in scholar's attire a guest of?" Yang inquired. Gulanji thought for a moment and replied, "I believe he's from private room 9. Yang instructed, "Once you confirm he's from private room 9, take the food carrier girl with you, apologize properly, and waive off his bill. Also, the mishap occurred due to poor sanitation, don't blame it on the food carrier girl." "Understood." Once the discussions were over, Yang left the office and returned to the third floor. Gulanji was an efficient individual. Upon confirming that the guest Yang referred to was from private room 9, she immediately took the food carrier girl with her to apologize. Interestingly, only 2 people occupied the spacious private room 9. One was sitting while the other was standing, possibly a master and his servant. After explaining their purpose of visit, Mr. Du put down his teacup and absent-mindedly fiddled with his Buddha beads. "No need for waiving the bill, just answer a question for me." Gulanji bowed slightly, "Please ask, sir." Mr. Du raised his eyes slightly, his voice as gentle as ever, "What is the name of the young lady with excellent agility?" Chapter 784, Please give me another chance. _1 A capable young girl? Gulanji was stunned for a moment, then recalled that he must be referring to Yang. That young girl is also a VIP member of our restaurant. As this involves the guest's privacy, I can't disclose detailed information. Gulanji said. Dee wasn't an unreasonable person. Upon hearing this, he slightly hooked his lips in a smile and said, "Okay, I understand. You may leave." Gulanji nodded, turning to leave with the food server. At the stairway, the curious server asked, "Manager Gu, who do you think that guest is?" That guest was quite extraordinary. Even in the modern times, he still wore a traditional long robe and cloth shoes, yet didn't seem at all out of place. He was graceful and handsome. His every move was reminiscent of a young master from a wealthy family depicted in TV dramas. Due to his attire, Gu Lanji had a bit of an impression of Du Yi, who was a frequent guest here. He remembered that on his first visit, the restaurant's membership cards were sold out. He wanted to acquire a membership card even at 10 times the price. That was certainly impossible. The restaurant did not practice favoritism for anyone. In the end, he, like the other customers, queued for almost 3 hours before finally entering the restaurant to dine. The next time he came, he already had in his possession a membership card. As a kind-hearted boss, Gu Lanji shared, he is definitely an important figure. Such important people are not ones we could casually recognize. You should just focus on your work and be more careful in the future. Although the restaurant had its fair share of VIP customers, there weren't many like Di. Yes, I understand, Manager Gu, the food server nodded. After using Lu Kurson, Ni Yang was in a pretty good mood. I want to thank Mississippi Lu for her generous contribution which allowed us such a wonderful meal. Lu Kurson, barely suppressing her retching, had no choice but to bluster in embarrassment. It was only 8,000 yuan. It's not a big deal. Ni Yang laughed. Mississippi Lu is indeed very generous. Lu Kurson's face turned green and then white with rage. She was on the verge of losing her temper. Zheng Xianjing took hold of Lu Kurson's arm softly, saying, "Kurson, my younger sister was just joking with you, don't get angry." Only then did Lu Kurson's face look slightly better. It was crucial not to offend Zheng Xianjing. After all, Zheng Xianjing was currently Du Yi's lifesaver. Lu Kurson tried quietly to please Zheng Xianjing. "Xianjing, you're always so sensible. On the contrary, your sister is just a low-bred country bumpkin who couldn't possibly fit into our circles. Her mere presence depreciates us." Upon hearing that, another young lady promptly agreed in a whispered tone, "Absolutely. How could this rural bumpkin even compare to our Xianjing?" Hearing their flattering voices, Zheng Xianjing felt extremely satisfied. Her lips curled in triumph. After finishing their meal, the group left the restaurant. The old lady cradled little Ni Yun in her arms while Ni Yang walked by Zheng Laoye's side. Zheng Laoye, who wasn't normally a chatty person, unusually enjoyed having a lively conversation with Ni Yang. "Yang, I know a place that sells delicious candied hawthorns. Do you and Yun want some?" The mention of candied hawthorns excited little Ni Yun. "Yes, I want." Zheng Laoye laughed, "All right. I will buy some for you." Zheng Laotai said, "Children should not eat too many sweets. It's bad for their teeth." Zheng Laoye retorted, "Why are you always picking on things? What harm can occasionally eating a string of them do? Did you lose your teeth because you ate sugar as a child?" The half-toothless Zheng Laotai, "I'm speechless." Little Ni Yun happily said, "Thank you, Grandpa. You're the best. Grandpa, carry me." Zheng Laoye took little Ni Yun into his arms, setting her on his shoulder. "Grandpa will take Yun and sister to buy candied hawthorns." Little Ni Yun was thrilled, riding the horse, giddy up. Ni Yang laughed, "I would prefer not to have the candied hawthorns. I have to attend to some business in a bit. You can take Yun." Zheng Laoye replied, "Then, I'll buy some for you and you can eat it when you come home later." Seeing this, Zheng Lingling and her mother both had unsatisfied expressions on their faces. So, Ni Yang and Ni Yun are human, and Zheng Xianjing is not? They bought candied hawthorns for Ni Yang and Ni Yun, completely forgetting about Zheng Xianjing. Favoritism. Such blatant favoritism. They're being so blatantly partial that it's beyond infuriating. Chapter 785, Please Give Me Another Chance. _2. Moreover, when Zheng Xianjing was a child, old Master Zheng wouldn't even smile at her, let alone pamper her. Truly, one's own child always comes first. Two old codgers. Zheng Lingling wished she could strangle old Master Zheng and the old lady. Master Zheng, holding little Yun, said, Ting, Dahui, you guys can go wherever you want, and your mom and I will take Yun to play. Lingling and Xianjing, if you want to go out, feel free to wander around, otherwise, go home. Ni Tsuehua and Shangguan Dahui were newlyweds, so they should have some private time together. Shangguan Dahui simply adored his father-in-law, Dad, then he'll take Daya and leave first. Please take care of Yun. Zheng Lingling felt suffocated inside but managed to force a smile on her face. Sure, Dad. Ni Yang also said, then he'll go ahead, Grandpa. Go on, go on. Master Zheng waved his hand. Third floor of the National Fragrance. Mr. Du and Wang Ziki stood at the floor-to-ceiling window on the third floor. Is that Zheng Xianjing? Wang Ziki nodded. Yes, it's her. Mr. Du pointed to the slim figure next to Master Zheng. Who is that? Wang Ziki squinted. I don't know that person, but the Zheng family recently found their biological daughter. I think that should be the daughter brought back by their biological daughter. Because Wang Ziki had been investigating Zheng Xianjing lately, he knew quite a bit about the Zheng family. Mr. Du twirled his Buddha beads, his face expressionless. Investigate her. Investigate Master Zheng's biological granddaughter? Why would he want to investigate Master Zheng's granddaughter? Is he interested in her? Wang Ziki was stunned for a moment, then said, all right. When his words were done, Mr. Du continued, how is the investigation on that case from last time going? There's no news yet. Wang Ziki replied. Beijing is not like Shanghai. Shanghai is full of their informers. Finding someone in Beijing is like looking for a needle in a haystack. The most important thing is, they hardly have any leads. At least when they were looking for Zheng Xianjing, they knew the car model. It's so difficult. Meanwhile, Shangguan Dahui took Ni Tsuehua to stroll around and watch a movie. It was rare for them to have these moments alone together. The streets of Beijing in 1985 were not as closed off as before, with couples hand in hand everywhere. Shangguan Dahui held Ni Kuihua's hand. Look, there's a cotton candy stall over there. Let's go buy a couple. Ni Tsuehua laughed. We're not kids anymore, why would we want cotton candy? This cotton candy is just like cotton, fluffy, and it dissolves as soon as you put it in your mouth. I'm sure you've never had it before. Besides, who made the rule that only children can eat candy? Adults can't? Cotton candy originated from the West and was invented in 1897, but the cloud-shaped cotton candy only recently appeared on the streets of Beijing. While they were talking, Shangguan Dahui led Ni Tsuehua to the cotton candy stall. Boss, 2 cotton candies, please. Alright, that'll be 6 cents. Since it's a novelty, the price is a bit high. Shangguan Dahui pulled 6 cents out of his pocket and handed it to the street vendor. Here. Shangguan Dahui handed 1 string to Ni Tsuehua. Ni Tsuehua glanced around a bit embarrassedly before accepting it. Shangguan Dahui bit into the cotton candy, laughing. Daya, try a bite and see if it's sweet enough. It was Ni Kuihua's first time eating this kind of cotton candy. She took a bite, and even though it was quite big, it dissolved into sugar water as soon as it entered her mouth. It was quite sweet, but not worth it. It looked like a lot, but in reality, it wasn't even a mouthful. Not far away, a middle-aged man carrying a briefcase watched enviously as Shangguan Dahui laughed and talked with Ni Tsuehua. Seeing this warm scene, an involuntary smile of nostalgia appeared on his face. This man was none other than Zhao Shen. These days, he had been reflecting on himself. He was wrong. He was truly wrong. He shouldn't have hurt Shangguan Furong. Even though Shangguan Furong was a bit temperamental, as her husband, he should be forgiving. He definitely should not have brought Lin Fong home when Shangguan Furong was feeling disheartened. At that time, if he had repented timely, he might have been able to win back Shengguan Furong. Now, Shengguan Furong and their children are gone. Only he and Lady Zhao are left in the Zhao family. Every time he gets off work, he doesn't want to go home. He's afraid of facing an uncheerful home. Regardless of her decision, I will respect Furong's choice. Zhao Shen nodded, okay brother, I understand. You and sister-in-law have fun together, I'll be leaving first. With that, Zhao Shen turned and left. Watching Zhao Shen's retreating figure, Shengguan Dehui grasped Enai Kuihua's hand. Dia, what do you think about this? About the matter between Furong and Zhao Shen? Enai Tsuihua asked. Yes. Shengguan Dehui nodded. Enai Tsuihua took a bite of her cotton candy and replied, from the children's perspective, Zhao Shen can be forgiven. After all, a child's growth can't be without a father. But from a moral standpoint, Zhao Shen's actions are absolutely unforgivable. Just like you, I will respect whatever Furong decides. Enai Tsuihua had been through a failed marriage, she knew the difficulties women faced. Whether Zhao Shen had truly repented or not, he had already left an unbridgeable scar on Shengguan Furong's heart. What's done can't be undone, a broken mirror can't be joined again. Shengguan Dehui nodded, so we are of the same opinion. Then he said, forget about this for now, comrade Dia, shall we go see a movie together? I heard from a colleague that a movie called Mr. Zombie just came out. Let's go see it. Mr. Zombie 1 starring Mr. Lam, was released in 1985 and was quite popular at the box office in mainland China. Enai Tsuihua replied, zombies? Is it a horror movie? At this time, zombies only existed in books. Enai Tsuihua, who had read books on the topic, was quite interested and curious to see what a movie about zombies would look like. Shengguan Dehui said, probably, we'll know when we see it. Chapter 787, Please Give Me Another Chance. _4. Mr. Zombie 1 is a film that intertwines horror with comedy, and injects a subtle touch of sorrow into the playfulness. While everyone else in the theater was terrified, Enai Tsuihua remained incredibly calm. On the other hand, Shengguan Dehui was far from relaxed, beads of cold sweat covering the palms of his hands. Normally, he was quite brave, but the sight of the ghost bride sitting on Qian Ziaheo's bicycle and the haunting tune accompanying her appearance turned Shengguan Dehui's face pale. He clenched Enai Kuihua's hand tightly. Enai Tsuihua chuckled, what's there to be afraid of? It's all fake. Shengguan Dehui, after leaving, Zhao Shen went to a flower shop and bought a bouquet of fiery red roses. Had heard that young people in love these days are into this sort of thing. He wasn't sure whether Shengguan Furong would like it or not. Elsewhere, Master Zheng and Madame Zheng were buying candied hawthorns with little Enai Yun. Perched atop Master Zheng's shoulders, the laughter in little Enai Yun's eyes was infectious. I want 2 sticks. All right, well get 2 for little Yun Yun, Master Zheng smiled. Shopkeeper, give me 4 candied hawthorns. Quickly, the candied hawthorn shopkeeper handed 4 sticks of candied hawthorn to little Enai Yun. Here you go, young lady. Little Enai Yun said gratefully, thank you, shopkeeper. The shopkeeper was pleasantly surprised, such a polite little girl. Little Enai Yun responded, and you're polite, too, shopkeeper. The candied hawthorn shopkeeper was beaming with delight. This little girl is good at making logical inferences. Master Zheng and Madame Zheng also couldn't help but laugh out loud. Madame Zheng asked, Yun Yun, who are these 4 candied hawthorns for? Little Enai Yun replied, 2 are for myself, 1 is for sister and 1 is for sister Xianjing. Although little Enai Yun may be young, she has big thoughts. Madame Zheng then asked, why aren't there any for grandpa and grandma? Little Enai Yun reasoned, because grandpa and grandma are adults, and adults can't eat candy. In her mind, even Enai Yang and Zheng Xianjing were still little kids. Master Zheng feigned disappointment. What should we do if Grandpa and Grandma still want some? After pondering for a bit, little Yun finally decided to share her own. She took out one of her candied hawthorns. This stick is for you and Grandma. Yun will just have one. Grandpa, you and Grandma can only have one stick. If you eat too much, your teeth will hurt. Madame Zheng pinched little Yun's hand while standing on her tiptoes. You little smart aleck. Grandpa was just teasing you. Grandpa and Grandma don't eat candy. You eat it. Finding out that she was still entitled to 2 candied hawthorns, little Yun was over the moon. Chapter 788, Please Give Me Another Chance. _5. For some reason, upon seeing Wu Yenyun, Yang felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity. Yenyun, Yang walked over, squatting down beside Wu Yenyun, and patted her shoulder. After patting Wu Yenyun without any response, Yang patted her again. Yenyun? Only then did Wu Yenyun react. She lifted her head and saw a clean and pretty face, choked back a sob. Yang? Yang handed her a clean handkerchief. Yenyun, wipe your tears first. Wu Yenyun raised her hand, wiping her face indiscriminately with her sleeves. Don't get your handkerchief dirty. It was evident that Yang belonged in a different world from hers. You could tell that Yang must have a good family environment, unlike her. Yang stuffed the handkerchief into Wu Yenyun's hands with a smile. It's okay, handkerchiefs are meant for wiping stains, what else would they be for? Thank you. Wu Yenyun gripped the handkerchief, warmth spreading in her heart. Yang then helped Wu Yenyun up from the ground. Yenyun, what's the matter? No, nothing. Wu Yenyun used the handkerchief to wipe away her tears. Just by the agricultural market, there was a dumpling soup shop. Considering it was past 12 p.m., Wu Yenyun probably hadn't eaten yet, so Yang took her to the shop saying, let's eat and chat inside. But where would Wu Yenyun get the money to eat? No need, Yang, I've already eaten. Yang chuckled, that's okay. I haven't eaten yet anyway. Just think of it as keeping me company during my meal. Upon hearing that, Wu Yenyun had no choice but to follow Yang into the dumpling soup shop. There weren't many customers in the shop. Seeing the new customers, the boss lady greeted them enthusiastically. What can I get for the 2 of you? Yang looked at the menu and ordered 2 large bowls of dumpling soup, then 2 pan-fried dumplings, and add an egg to each soup. At this time, when one's stomach is low on oil, people generally do eat more. Yang didn't have a big appetite, and she was concerned Wu Yenyun wouldn't be filled up. If she ordered different dishes, she was afraid Wu Yenyun would misunderstand. Wu Yenyun responded, Yang, just order what you want. I have really already eaten. Yang gave a small smile. We are friends now. I'm just treating you to a meal. What does it matter? Are you going to just sit there and watch me eat? Boss lady, could you please serve the food now? The boss lady wiped her hands on her apron, smiling brightly. All right, you 2 just wait for a while. A short while later, the dumpling soup was served. Yang tasted a spoonful first. Yenyun, eat quickly. Dumpling soup is best eaten hot. Okay. Wu Yenyun nodded. After not eating well last night, and only having some rice soup in the morning, and a small lunch at home, Wu Yenyun was really hungry now. She quickly gobbled up 5 or 6 dumplings and couple of spoonfuls of soup, then looked up at Yang, hesitated for a moment, and stuttered, Yang, I am full now. Can I take the rest home? Yang suddenly recalled what Han Xiaoyu had told her before, that Wu Yenyun had 3 younger brothers at home and their family was not well off. I think they don't allow takeouts here. You should just finish it. Otherwise, it would go to waste, said Yang. Really? Wu Yenyun asked. Yang nodded. Hearing that, Wu Yenyun resumed eating, regretfully thinking that her 2 younger brothers and grandmother won't get to taste the delicious dumpling soup. Midway through the meal, Ni Yang asked, "Yenyun, what happened earlier? Why were you crying so much?" Wu Yenyun shook her head, the tears welling up in her eyes again. "I'm really alright." Ni Yang patted Wu Yenyun's hand and smiled, "We are friends now. There's nothing that we can't talk about, right?" Wu Yenyun bit back her tears. "I lost the 2 yuan my mom gave me. It was supposed to buy rice." Ni Yang consoled her, as the saying goes, losing wealth is a way to avoid disasters. "Don't cry, Yenyun. Finish your meal first, I'll go pay." Wu Yenyun nodded. Ni Yang walked towards the counter and whispered to the boss lady, "Could you pack 5 dumpling soups, the same as what we had, and then another 5 braised duck legs?" The boss lady confirmed, "So, it's large dumpling soup with pan-fried dumplings and eggs, all included?" "Yes." Ni Yang nodded. The boss lady did a quick calculation, "That will be 7 yuan." Ni Yang handed her 2 large denominations, "Put the change all in the takeaway bag." "Alright." The boss lady nodded. Chapter 789, Please Give Me Another Chance. _6. After paying, Ni Yang walked out. Wu Yenyun had almost finished eating. Ni Yang had just eaten at Wuxia Xianxia for lunch, and she couldn't take in another bite. She had only eaten 1 dumpling soup from her bowl. Just then, the lady boss emerged carrying a big bag. "Young lady, these are the 5 portions of dumpling soup you packed. Wasn't it said that takeaway wasn't allowed here?" Wu Yenyun looked at Ni Yang in surprise. Ni Yang pushed the bag towards Wu Yenyun. "This is for you. Take it home for your brother and your family to enjoy." Wu Yenyun quickly refused, "No, I can't accept it." Ni Yang had been kind enough already, how could she accept more from her? Ni Yang gave a light laugh. "It's okay. Everybody has their fair share of hardships. Just take it." Wu Yenyun was so moved that she was at a loss for words. She was on the verge of tears. Yang, Ni Yang patted Wu Yenyun's hand. "I've been in a worse situation than you are in now, Yenyun. Hang in there. There's no hurdle in life we can't get through." She had somehow managed to get through all the hardships in her past life. "Yes." Wu Yenyun nodded. Ni Yang continued, "I've tasted my dumpling soup, but I didn't touch the potstickers and the eggs. If you don't mind, you can take them too." Wu Yenyun finally understood. When Ni Yang said that takeouts weren't allowed, she was just trying to make Wu Yenyun eat more. She felt a lump in her throat. The tears that she had been holding back began to flow again. I don't mind, Wu Yenyun's head was nodding, Yang, thank you." When she was able, she wanted to be like Ni Yang, someone who spreads warmth. Ni Yang stood up. "I have something else to take care of, I'm leaving now. I'll walk you out." Wu Yenyun also got up. Ni Yang smiled and said, "No need, we are not going the same way." With that, she turned and walked towards the agricultural market. Wu Yenyun called over the lady boss and had Ni Yang's portion of dumpling soup packed as well. As she was about to leave, Wu Yenyun accidentally found a 5 yuan bill and 3 1 yuan banknotes in the bag. "Boss, where did this money come from?" Wu Yenyun asked. The lady boss grinned. "That young lady who was with you just now told me to put it in the bag." Wu Yenyun was slightly taken aback, and then she realized what Ni Yang had done. Ni Yang was probably trying to protect her dignity with that gesture. She truly was a good person. Wu Yenyun silently acknowledged in her heart. When she was carrying the dumpling soup home, she bumped into the landlord, Wu Lan, coming out of the courtyard. Wu Lan noticed a peculiar expression on Wu Yenyun's face for a moment and then quickly resumed her smile. "Yenyun, you're back. Wu Yenyun nodded, Aunt Lan. Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong came bounding out of the courtyard. Big sister. Big sister is home. Big sister, what are you carrying? It smells so good. Wu Yenyun smiled and said, of course, it's something good. Wait a moment. I'll divide it up in the kitchen. Wu Dalong was jumping with joy. Wu Yenyun kept the other 5 portions of dumpling soup for dinner and took out Ni Yang's portion separately, dividing it into 3. Ni Yang had just symbolically eaten a mouthful of her portion. Since it was a larger portion, it could be divided into 3 bowls. She gave 1 egg to Granny Wu, and 1 potsticker each to Wu Dalong and Wu Erlong. Upon seeing that the food was divided into 3 portions, Wu Erlong asked, Big sister, aren't you eating? Wu Yenyun smiled and said, Big sister has already eaten. Before Wu Erlong could respond, Wu Dalong eagerly said, Xiaolong, if you're not eating, I'll eat your portion for you. Wu Erlong immediately guarded his meal. Wu Yenyun took the remaining portion to their grandmother. Their grandmother scolded with a stern face, We're already so poor we can't afford food. Your mom gave you 2 yuan just yesterday, and you've wasted it today. Don't we know our place? You extravagant child. What a disgrace. What could our respectable Wu family have done to deserve a child like you? If only we knew back then. In the end, the grandmother started coughing in agitation, looking like she might collapse at any second. Wu Yenyun immediately tried to pacify her, Grandma, don't be angry. I didn't use the money Mom gave me for this. A kind-hearted lady gave me several portions of these. I plan to save them for dinner. Look, the money Mom gave me is still here. She couldn't dare tell her grandmother about losing the money. She decided to confide it to her parents quietly at night. Seeing this, their grandmother's expression softened slightly. After enjoying the forbidden dumpling soup, she continued, Xiaoyun, how old are you now? I'm 18, Wu Yenyun replied, puzzled. Why would her grandmother suddenly ask her age? 18, their grandmother looked at her with complicated eyes. 18 is not young anymore. She herself had been married at 18. The young mistress had been promised to a family at 16. Grandma, are you asking for a reason? Wu Yenyun continued to inquire. Their grandmother shook her head, no, you can go now. Just as Wu Yenyun was about to leave, it seemed their grandmother remembered something, both of your younger brothers should be in school, but they are still at home playing. If it weren't for you, your brothers would be in school by now. Xiaoyun, do you know how much it costs to raise a child? Wu Yenyun's voice was a little bitter. I know, their grandmother said, if you are sensible, you should help your parents more. You are 18, no longer a child. Our family is in this mess because of you. Wu Yenyun nodded in agreement. After leaving their grandmother's room, Wu Yenyun's previously joyous mood had turned somber once more. She knew her grandmother's words had a deeper meaning, but she didn't understand her true intention. Wu Yenyun looked up at the somewhat gray sky, wishing she could give herself a cathartic cry. The Deming Pavilion was located at the busiest street in Beijing. The area near the Deming Pavilion was unusually tranquil because it was the residence of a nobleman. This nobleman was none other than Master Du. Master Du stood by a small pond in the garden, feeding fishes, while Wang Ziki reported the information he had found. Master Du, Mr. Zheng's biological granddaughter, is named Ni Yang. She's 19 years old. She used to live in Dam village in Haicheng with her birth mother, Ni Tsuehua. 2 years ago, after her parents divorced, she moved to Beijing with her mother, Ni Yang. Master Du scattered a handful of fish food into the pond. Look up Ni Yang's whereabouts on that night then. Although according to Wang Ziki's findings, Ni Yang seemed to be an ordinary village girl, Master Du knew she was no ordinary person. Wang Ziki was momentarily taken aback before nodding in acknowledgement. Third brother, who is this lady you are going to such lengths for this time? A fashionable woman approached from afar. Wang Ziki respectfully greeted, 2nd Mississippi. Master Du glanced back, absent-mindedly twirling his prayer beads. She saved my life. She is not a paramour. Second sister, when did you arrive in Beijing? Chapter 790, So Unique. Found the real lifesaver. _1 The person who arrived was none other than Du's half-sister from the same father, Du Jiaojiao. Du Jiaojiao was 36 years old this year, but she looked no different from a woman in her early 20s. She was wearing a fashionable lace dress, her hair was curled in golden waves, and she had on a pair of light black high heels. As she walked, each step clicked on the floor, emanating an aura of authority. Upon hearing this, Du Jiaojiao asked seriously, a savior? What happened? Du narrated the incident from that night in a calm and composed manner. His casual demeanor as if the person who almost died that night wasn't him. People like Du had long understood the cycle of life and death. To him, life and death were no more than a cycle. Du Jiaojiao squinted her eyes in anger and said, these people are absolutely reckless. No sooner had you left Shanghai than they set their sights on Beijing. Du twiddled with his Buddha beads, no point getting angry, it's not good for your health. Du Jiaojiao was so angry that she started to laugh. Who do you think I'm doing this for? It's all for you. Although he wasn't her full brother, their bond was much deeper than that of ordinary siblings. Du Jiaojiao then asked, have you found out who's behind this? Du nodded his head. Du Jiaojiao jumped in, who is it? I'll kill him myself. Du replied, there's no need for you to act, sister. I've already taken care of it. Du Jiaojiao laughed, I always knew you were a smiling tiger, pretending not to care on the surface but holding grudges deep down. Given her brother's tumultuous past, his journey to the present has been far from easy. Along the way, a lot of blood had been shed. He truly stepped on bones to get where he is. With one hand on his Buddha beads and the other tossing some fish bait, he said, I'm no saint, if someone crosses my line, I'll naturally pay them back. Du Jiaojiao added, so the young girl who saved you is quite formidable. Haven't you found her yet? Anyone who could save her brother must be extraordinarily skilled. At the moment, Du Jiaojiao was also curious about what this little girl looked like. Du shook his head, it was already dark at that time and the clues were too scarce. Du Jiaojiao chuckled, no rush. As long as destiny dictates, you two shall meet again. Du did not continue the conversation. Du Jiaojiao nudged him with her elbow and giggled, by the way, do you have some good news to share? What good news? Du was puzzled. Du Jiaojiao laughed, don't play dumb. I heard back in Shanghai that you've set your sights on a young girl and are thinking about bringing her home as your wife? No, Du straightforwardly denied. Du Jiaojiao was speechless, you're still pretending in front of your sister? Really, there isn't. Du Jiaojiao frowned, tell me honestly, all these years, haven't you had feelings for anyone? Her brother was already in his 30s this year. He was often surrounded by women and even had 2 mistresses. But he had never truly opened his heart to anyone. He was like an emotionless machine, cold and indifferent. Du lightly shook his head, throughout my life, I have never understood what it is to like. Du Jiaojiao then asked, what about love? Even if you've never liked anyone, you must have loved someone, right? Du cracked a smile, love? What is love? Is it something that can satisfy hunger or thirst? Besides, is there really such a thing as love in this world? He never believed in love between a man and a woman. He never loved anyone. He even found it puzzling why some people could make a huge fuss over so-called love. In Du's view, this was incredibly foolish behavior. Du Jiaojiao shook her head in disbelief, being with someone like you who doesn't understand love is so boring. Du fiddled with his Buddha beads. Buddha said, life is what we make of it, all things in the world are transient. If the mind is not moved, nothing in the world is moved. If the mind doesn't change, everything remains the same. And his mind would never be moved for anyone. Du Jiaojiao gave a snort. There's a long road of life ahead. I don't believe you won't fall for any girl in the future. Being human, no one could escape the two words, passionate love. Du laughed softly. If I could fall for someone, would I still be waiting till now? Over these years, he had encountered countless admirable women. Du Jiaojiao gave him a glance, but couldn't refute his words. Chapter 791, So Unique. Found the Real Lifesaver. _2. Her younger brother, who was well-traveled and handsome, attracted numerous women who wouldn't consider marrying anyone else. Even the daughter of the leader of the desert country, whom he did not bother to give much attention to. He even avoided accepting 2 concubines. Du Jiaojiao continued, Little brother, I think you should reduce your reading of those Buddhist scriptures. At this rate, you might as well become a monk. Master Du sighed. Master Wuchen said my 6 senses are impure, so he refused to take me as his disciple. You actually want to become a monk? Have you gone mad? Du Jiaojiao widened her eyes in disbelief, her voice several decibels higher. Master Du smiled, seeming rather amused by the whole scene. Du Jiaojiao continued, Our mother only has you as her son. You can't give up on life so easily. The mother, in her words, was Master Du's biological mother. Their father was a notorious womanizer, his legacy littered with the hearts of countless women. Master Du switched his Buddha beads to the other hand. You're overthinking things, second sister. If Master Wuchen didn't accept him as a student, there was still plenty for him to do in mundane life. He had no plans to become a monk anytime soon. Du Jiaojiao noticed the Buddha beads in Master Du's hand and asked, You've been using these Buddha beads for so many years. What are they made of? They're of such good quality. Xiaoye red sandalwood. Master Du replied. Du Jiaojiao extended her hand, Let me have a look. No. Master Du refused. Why? Du Jiaojiao asked. Why couldn't she see the simple strand of Buddha beads? Master Du continued, These Buddha beads have gained spiritual energy over the years. Except for me, no one else has ever touched them. If you like them, second sister, I can have our people bring you a few more strands to choose from. However, this one is off limits. Du Jiaojiao asked, I can't even look at them? No. Master Du replied. In actuality, Master Du was overly territorial about his belongings. He didn't even allow others a lingering glance, not even his mother. Tch, so stingy. Du Jiaojiao huffed, I don't want to see it then. Master Du continued, You must be hungry from your long journey, second sister. I know a great restaurant. Would you like to go? Upon hearing about food, Du Jiaojiao's spirits quickly lifted, Sure. The two of them made their way to Gustianxiang. Over the years, Du Jiaojiao had visited more than a dozen countries and seen countless restaurants. But it was the first time she had come across one like Gustianxiang. More than a restaurant, it was like an art gallery. Awe-inspiring. Du Jiaojiao exclaimed, Goodness! I can't believe there's a restaurant like this in Beijing. Master Du said, My reaction was exactly the same when I first came here. Du Jiaojiao continued, Who's the owner of this place? Master Du shook his head. He too was curious about the owner of the shop, but their privacy was well guarded, so he couldn't find out. Laughing, Du Jiaojiao said, How mysterious. As they entered a private room, Du Jiaojiao couldn't help but exclaim again. She pulled a waitress aside and asked, Young girl, the garment you're wearing is really beautiful. Is this a vintage piece? Where did you get it? All the waitresses at Gustianxiang underwent professional training. Dear customer, the dress I'm wearing is called Chiru, a traditional Han costume. It's custom made from a factory by our boss. Upon hearing this, Du Jiaojiao's curiosity about the owner of Wuxia Xianxia piqued even more. Young girl, who's your boss? The waitress shook her head. I'm not really sure, I've never seen our boss. So, the owner of Wuxia Xianxia wasn't a simple character. Du Jiaojiao asked, if you've never seen your boss, then who's responsible for running the restaurant now? The waitress replied, currently, our restaurant is being managed by the manager. Du Jiaojiao nodded, okay, bring me the menu. The waitress handed Du Jiaojiao the menu. Du Jiaojiao looked up at Master Du. Little brother, what would you like to eat? Master Du glanced at Du Jiaojiao. I'm vegetarian. Du Jiaojiao shook her head in disbelief. You recite scriptures, wear Buddha beads, and eat vegan. Anybody who didn't know better would think you're a monk. You're just so boring. I'll have this grand spread, this gold-plated bounty and this. In one breath, Du Jiaojiao ordered a long list of dishes, considerately adding 3 vegetarian dishes for Master Du. Would you like anything to drink? The waitress asked. Du Jiaojiao thought for a moment, then said, oh, my skin has been in terrible condition lately. It's so dry and uncomfortable. Let's have a lemon water. Chapter 792, So Unique. Found the real lifesaver. _3. In reality, women of this era seldom knew the hydrating effects of lemon water, but Du Jiaojiao was different. She was a modern lady, educated in the West, and knew quite a few things. All right. The waiter nodded. Then, Du Jiaojiao turned to Du Yi, what do you want to drink? Westlake Longjing tea will do. Du Yi's tone was indifferent. Du Yi never bothered with miscellaneous things, he rarely drank even plain water. The only beverage he drank was tea. Boring. When the dishes were served, Du Jiaojiao was again filled with surprise. Oh my God! This had to be the tastiest restaurant she had ever tried. Even a glass of lemon water was so refreshing, so unique. Yang stayed at her master's house for the entire afternoon and only returned home around 7 p.m. Today was Saturday, and as usual, Yang had to visit the Shengguan family. Saturday and Sunday were the days she usually spent with the old lady Shengguan. At the trash bin by the entrance, Yang found a large bouquet of bright red roses. Perhaps total to 99 roses. This must have been given to Shengguan Furong by some admirer. Even though Shengguan Furong was over 30, she kept herself extremely well preserved. She was already beautiful to begin with, so she was never short of suitors. Sister Yang. As soon as Yang stepped into the house, Zhao Zijuan and Zhao Ziqing, the 2 sisters, came rushing out. Shengguan Furong wasn't always at the Shengguan family. She only came back on weekends. She spent Saturdays at the Shengguan family, and on Sundays she would take the children to the Zhao family to visit the old lady Zhao. Even though she was divorced, old lady Zhao was still the grandmother of the 2 children. Zhao Zijuan and Zhao Ziqing really liked their cousin, Yang. Zijuan, Ziqing, Yang took out the candies she had prepared from her bag. The candies were shaped like little pigs, extremely cute, almost making one reluctant to eat them. Thank you, Sister Yang. Zhao Zijuan and Zhao Ziqing said, politely thanking her. Yang patted their little heads, go and play. Let's go find Sister and play. The 2 ran inside. Yan is back. Shengguan she came out from inside. Sister Xiaoxi. Yang stretched out her hand and hugged Shengguan Shi. Shengguan Shi and Shengguan Su also came back once a week, usually living in their own home. Yan, we're having dumplings tonight. What filling do you want? Shengguan Furong walked out of the kitchen wearing an apron and looked at Yang with a smile. Shengguan Furong had changed a lot. The old her would never have done any housework, but now she even made dumplings. Her long hair had been cut short to ear length, making her look very energetic. It was like she had turned into a new person. Ni Yang laughed and said, "Auntie is back, I want dumplings with pure pork filling." Ni Yang loved dumplings with pure pork filling. Of course, she would occasionally eat dumplings with other fillings too. The same went for buns. Shengguan Furong nodded, "All right." Ni Yang put her bag on the sofa, "I'll help you guys make the dumplings." "Me too." Shengguan Shi tucked Ni Yang's arm under hers. The two went to the kitchen where everyone was making dumplings, including Shengguan Su. Even though Shengguan Su was a man, he made very beautiful dumplings. Shengguan Shi noticed that all the dumplings Shengguan Su made had a pork filling. He kept his head down and was very focused, giving off a warm aura under the light. Shengguan Shi thought that whoever married her brother would be very happy in their future. Old Lady Shengguan was surrounded by everyone and was very happy. She was truly very happy. She was truly delighted that the Shengguan family had arrived at where they were today, with such sensible and adorable children around them. Zheng Lingling was very angry. The more she thought about it, the more she couldn't accept it. Why did the old Zheng lady and old Zheng gentleman treat Ni Yang and Zheng Xianjing differently? Zheng Xianjing was clearly more outstanding than Ni Yang. Was it possible for Ni Yang to save Du Ye's life like Zheng Xianjing could? Ni Cuehua and Ni Yang had gone to the Shengguan family, yet these two old folks didn't even come downstairs. Did they really think their family of three was dead? Zheng Lingling sat on the sofa, all her features twisted into a knot. Boo! At this moment, a figure jumped out from behind, giving Zheng Lingling a big fright. "You crazy!" Zheng Lingling was about to curse crazy woman, but suddenly remembered that the old Zheng lady and old Zheng gentleman were at home. She immediately swallowed the words and pasted a strained smile on her face. "Aunt Suyu, what are you doing?" "Haha, you're a ghost. I scared you." Zheng Suyu jumped up delightedly. Chapter 793, So Unique. Found the real lifesaver. _4. Zheng Lingling continued, "Aunt Suyu, please stop causing a ruckus and go get some rest." "Ah. No. Don't kill me. I don't know anything." Zheng Suyu suddenly became frightened. She sat on the ground, kicking in front. "Go away. The ghost is so terrifying. Sister, come save me. I can't see. I don't know." Zheng Lingling looked at Zheng Suyu, narrowing her eyes slightly. This madwoman only knows how to blather nonsense. "Auntie, are you okay? I'll help you back to rest." Zheng Lingling reached out to assist Zheng Suyu. Zheng Suyu pushed Zheng Lingling to the ground. "You are a ghost. You are not a human. Sister, save me." At that moment, old lady Zheng came running down from upstairs. "Suyu, Suyu, are you okay?" "Sister." Zheng Suyu ran towards old lady Zheng. Old lady Zheng's eyes welled up with tears. "Suyu, do you remember me?" Zheng Suyu didn't like calling her sister-in-law from the beginning. When they first met, Zheng Suyu always addressed her as sister-in-law. Even after she married Zheng Jun, Zheng Suyu still called her sister. She has been calling her that for decades now. Zheng Lingling's gaze tightened. Has this madwoman really recovered? "Sister, there's a ghost that wants to kill me. I'm so scared. They're all ghosts." Zheng Suyu pointed at non-existent people in the air and clung tightly to old lady Zheng in terror. Old lady Zheng sighed. "Suyu, there are no ghosts in this world. Don't be scared." She thought Zheng Suyu was getting better. Zheng Suyu shivered in fear. Old lady Zheng continued, "Suyu, how about I take you upstairs to rest?" Zheng Suyu nodded in fear. Zheng Lingling said, "Mother, Aunt Suyu hasn't been in a great state of mind these days. Coincidentally, her medication has run out. I'll go visit Dr. Jiang and get some more medicine." "Okay," instructed old lady Zheng, "it's already dark out. Lingling, tell the driver to be careful on the road." "Okay." Zheng Lingling nodded. I'll go get ready and ask Sun Wu to accompany me. Zheng Lingling returned to her room. Sun Wu was sitting on the bed watching TV. Zheng Lingling continued, "Get up quickly, stop watching TV. Get up." Sun Wu looked up at Zheng Lingling. "Where are we going?" Zheng Lingling said, "To Dr. Jiang's." Without saying anything further, Sun Wu immediately got out of bed. The couple arrived at Dr. Jiang's residence by car. Seeing Zheng Lingling and Sun Wu, Dr. Jiang was delighted and busy pouring tea for the couple. Zheng Lingling took the teapot from Dr. Jiang's hand. "You don't have to do that, I can pour the tea." Dr. Jiang continued, "Have you two had dinner? If not, I can cook for you." Sun Wu said, "Aunt Jiang, you don't have to trouble yourself. We've already eaten." Dr. Jiang nodded, "That's good." The three of them chatted for a while, the room filled with laughter and a warm atmosphere. Zheng Lingling said, "Aunt Jiang, Aunt Suyu's medicine has run out. I came here to get some." Dr. Jiang said, "I'll get the medicine for you in a bit." Zheng Lingling set down her teacup and continued, "Aunt Jiang, Aunt Suyu's condition has been getting worse recently. She has been saying some strange things like someone wants to harm her and that she didn't see anything, she doesn't know anything." Upon hearing this, Dr. Jiang's expression changed. Zheng Lingling continued, "Aunt Jiang, I suggest you prescribe some medication to treat her condition. Aunt Suyu can't continue rambling nonsense like this. There are always people coming and going in our house. This way they will just laugh at us, won't they?" Dr. Jiang nodded, "Okay, I understand." After discussing Zheng Suyu's condition, Zheng Lingling began talking about the Zheng family's situation. "Aunt Jiang, I've come to realize that my mother has never really seen me as her daughter. Nothing can compare to having a child of your own." Remembering the unfairness, Zheng Lingling's eyes turned red. Dr. Jiang patted Zheng Lingling's hand. "I don't think your mother is the type of person to play favorites. You're probably overthinking this." Zheng Lingling said, "How could I be overthinking it? My mother is exactly like that. It was a little better before she found her real child. Since then, they've become more and more excessive." Sun Wu nodded in agreement. "Yes, it really is like that. I can vouch for her. My parents-in-law really don't seem to care about us now." Dr. Jiang's expression turned sour. Chapter 794, So Unique. Found the Real Lifesaver. _5. How had the old lady of the Zheng family promised to take care of Lingling when she brought her to her side? She had said that she would cherish Lingling and treat her as her own daughter. How many years had passed since then? Human hearts. Really impossible to examine. Dr. Jiang looked up at Lingling. "Your niece Ni Yang also has medical skills." Lingling was startled. "How did you know?" She hadn't paid much attention. Dr. Jiang explained, "When I met her last time, I smelled a faint scent of Chinese medicine on her and saw that she was carrying a bag for acupuncture needles." Why would an ordinary person carry needles for acupuncture? After speaking, Dr. Jiang continued, "In my observation, her medical skills are not bad." Lingling snorted coldly. "I didn't expect this country girl to be so capable." Dr. Jiang glanced at her. "Lingling, as I've told you before, never underestimate anyone." Lingling fell silent. Dr. Jiang asked again, "How have your parents been doing recently?" "They are both fine," Lingling replied. Dr. Jiang nodded. "Remember what I told you last time? Do not make ginseng soup for your parents again." "Have you been making it since then?" "No," Lingling shook her head. She always obeyed Dr. Jiang's instructions. "That's good." Dr. Jiang heaved a sigh of relief, and then reassured her, "Lingling, for some things, there is no need to be hasty. You have been her daughter for so many years, I believe she would never treat you unfairly." After speaking, she continued, "I'll handle the rest." "Yup. With Dr. Jiang's words, Lingling immediately found a sense of security. Dr. Jiang continued, in a few days, it will be Xianjing's birthday. Your niece, Ni Yang, shares the same birthday as her. You can organize a grand birthday party for them. Xianjing is now the life-saving benefactor of Master Du, he definitely won't dismiss her birthday. It's a good opportunity to show your mother who is better suited to be Miss Zheng. Upon hearing this, Lingling's eyes lit up, you're right. Why had she not thought of that? If it's Xianjing's birthday, Master Du will definitely make an appearance. Both of the two granddaughters have their birthday on the same day, but one will have the full support and attention of Master Du and all the other wealthy families. The scene will surely be lively. The Shengguan family. After dinner, the Shengguan matriarch asked Shengguan Furong to join her on the couch for a chat. Furong, could you bring the children to visit their grandmother tomorrow? Okay. Shengguan Furong nodded, well, go tomorrow. Another pause before the Shengguan matriarch asked, did Zhao Shen come to see you today? Yes. Furong replied. So, what do you think? Shengguan matriarch continued asking. Shengguan Furong responded, Mom, it's simply impossible for him and me. She had thought a lot about it recently. She was able to forgive Zhao Shen for his actions because he was the father of her children after all. But she could never be with him again. Spilled water cannot be gathered again. The Shengguan matriarch sighed, Furong, don't you ever consider the children? They are still so young, Shengguan Furong replied, it is precisely because I have thought about them that I bring them over at least once a week to visit their father. They do not lack the presence of a father. But the children only get to see him once a week. Other kids can see their parents any day. The Shengguan matriarch added. Shengguan Furong responded, that's not how it should be viewed. There are left-behind children in rural areas who only get to see their parents once a year, so then, is a week longer or is a year longer? The Shengguan matriarch was silenced, you just need to think carefully. When you go to their grandmother's tomorrow, remember to bring more gifts. I heard that Zhao's matriarch has not been feeling well recently. Blessings are often given to the offspring by their parents. Forget it. She should not bother anymore. Shengguan Furong nodded, okay, I know. The following morning, Shengguan Furong carried some healthcare products, and took her children to the Zhao family. The Zhao matriarch had recently caught a cold and had been running a fever. When Shengguan Furong and the children arrived, the Zhao matriarch was lying in bed on an IV drip. Grandma! Grandma! The children immediately gathered around her. Upon seeing the children, the Zhao matriarch's face broke into a smile, Zijuan, Ziqing. Aunt, are you okay? Shengguan Furong approached her. With a smile, the Zhao matriarch said, Furong, you came too. I'm fine, just having a bit of a cold. Chapter 795, So Unique. Found the real lifesaver. _6. Shengguan Furong tucked the duvet around old lady Shengguan. You need to take care of yourself. Old lady Zhao nodded, yes, I know. Just then, Zhao Shen walked in from outside. Furong, you're here. Shengguan Furong nodded. The children were thrilled to see Zhao Shen. Dad! Even though Zhao Ziqing and Zhao Zijuan were quite grown up, Zhao Shen still picked up one of them. Zijuan, Ziqing, have you missed Dad? Yes. Zhao Zijuan and Zhao Ziqing nodded. Shengguan Furong watched the scene unfold, a smile tugging at her lips. Being apart for a while actually felt good. Zhao Shen had never been so affectionate with the children before. Because old lady Zhao's health was failing, Shengguan Furong decided to leave one of the children with the Zhao family to keep her company. After all, one shouldn't be too selfish. Having witnessed what happened with Lin Fang, she believed that the Zhao family wouldn't repeat the same mistake. She herself would visit once a week. Which of you would like to stay with Grandma? Shengguan Furong squatted before the two children, asking. I will. Zhao Zijuan stepped forward. Mom, I want to stay with Grandma. All right, Shengguan Furong nodded, patting Zhao Zijuan's head. Then, you need to listen to Grandma, okay? Mom will come back to see you once a week. Yes, Mom, I know. Zhao Zijuan nodded sensibly. Tears streamed down old lady Zhao's face as she lay in her hospital bed, moved by their actions. That evening, Zhao Shen walked out with Zhao Zijuan to see off Shengguan Furong and Zhao Ziqing. Furong, thank you. Shengguan Furong replied, you don't need to thank me. Zijuan isn't just my child. However, let me be clear. If you repeat your mistakes, you won't see your children ever again. She would take the children far away. It will never happen again. You have my word. Zhao Shen promised. Shengguan Furong continued, remember those words. All right, no need for goodbyes, you better go back. Ziqing, say goodbye to your father and brother. Reluctantly, Zhao Ziqing waved. Goodbye, Dad. Goodbye, brother. Zhao Shen opened his mouth. Furong, have we really no chance to be together anymore? His eyes were filled with pleading. No, no chance, Shengguan Furong answered. Zhao Shen, I wish you to find your true love soon. Having said that, Shengguan Furong turned around with her child and walked away. With his heart feeling as if it had been torn apart, Zhao Shen watched the silhouettes of the mother and daughter disappear. The pain was real. They were once a happy family of 4, now, they were going their separate ways. Deming Villa. Wang Ziki, soaked in sweat, ran into Grandpa Du's study room. Grandpa Du. Grandpa Du. Grandpa Du put down his Buddhist scripture. What is it? Wang Ziki exclaimed excitedly, Grandpa Du, it's her. It's really her. Grandpa Du's eyebrows furrowed, what do you mean it's her? Be clearer. Wang Ziki couldn't calm down. And who would blame him, considering it was about Grandpa Du's savior, who was also his? He hadn't imagined that Zheng Xianjing was an impostor. Grandpa Du was proven to be right. Wang Ziki recomposed himself. Grandpa Du, the person who helped us that night, it was Ni Yang. It was her. Grandpa Du remained unfazed. This revelation was not surprising to him. Otherwise, he wouldn't have asked Wang Ziki to investigate Ni Yang. Wang Ziki continued, Grandpa Du, should I bring that necklace to Ni Yang? No need, said Grandpa Du, that necklace has already been given to someone else. Regifting it to Ni Yang would seem insincere. Bring the night pearl. The night pearl. The night pearl dated back to the Northern Song dynasty. Wang Ziki was stunned. It seemed that Grandpa Du was really going all out this time. If they wanted to find Ni Yang, they could go to the National Colors and Heavenly Fragrances. Ni Yang was a regular at the National Colors and Heavenly Fragrances. As the weather had begun to get warmer, Ni Yang had stopped wearing her coat. That day, she was wearing a light blue cheongsam with her hair down, a pale blue crystal hairpin adorned with thin fringe on the left side. The fringes trembled as she walked, much like the shimmering surface of water. She was captivating. She looked as if she had walked straight out of a vintage Chinese painting. Grandpa Du was immediately drawn to Ni Yang, who was deep in conversation with Gu Lanji, as he entered. The buzzing crowd and the distance made it hard for him to catch their conversation. Grandpa Du, should we go over? Wang Ziki asked. Grandpa Du nodded. Chapter 796, So Unique. Found the real lifesaver. _7 The two approached together. Miss Ni, excuse the interruption. Mr. Du spoke in an indifferent tone. Ni Yang looked back slightly and saw the man dressed like a scholar and Wang Ziki standing next to him. Ni Yang had seen Wang Ziki's photos at her master and mistress place, and recognized Wang Ziki at first glance. Could it be that this man was the one she had rescued in the alley last time? No, Ni Yang suddenly realized. How did they know her last name was Ni? Huh? Are you calling me? Yes. Mr. Du nodded. Can I have a word with you, Miss Ni? Ni Yang glanced at Wang Ziki, then at Mr. Du, and then nodded, okay. The three of them made their way to the private room upstairs. Mr. Du took out the white crystal hair clip. Miss Ni, do you recognize this? Ni Yang looked closely. Isn't this my hair clip? She had lost one of her hair clips before, but she didn't really take notice, never thought it would have been picked up by this man. How can you prove that this is yours? Mr. Du had always been suspicious. Ni Yang gave a faint smile, took the blue crystal hair clip from her head, a strand of blue-black hair slid down to her ear, spilling onto the table like ink splashed on water. Look, they are a pair, the only difference is the color. Ni Yang had many of these hair clips because she used them to match with her cheongsams, so she had them in every color, and all her hair clips were handmade by her, always in pairs. Was that person that evening you? Asked Mr. Du as Ni Yang expected. He had come to find her for this matter. Yes, it's me. I never thought you would be able to find me. It was a time without surveillance, and it had already gotten dark, and she had left nothing to identify herself, so Ni Yang was genuinely surprised that they could find her. It was unexpected. Seems like, Boss Wang Ziki has quite the influence. Mr. Du continued, may I ask, why did you decide to save me that night? And how did you know I was in danger? It was quite clear that Ni Yang came that night prepared. Mr. Du posed two questions, which were quite difficult for Ni Yang to answer. She couldn't very well say that she was reborn, could she? Because she didn't know in advance that Mr. Du would come, she hadn't prepared in advance. She merely wanted to be an unknown hero. Never thought that Mr. Du would be so persistent in finding her. After a moment, Ni Yang looked at Wang Ziki. Mr. Du immediately understood. Ziki, could you step out for a moment? Okay. Wang Ziki nodded. Can you tell me now? Mr. Du asked. Ni Yang continued, to be honest, I didn't know on that night you were in danger as well. I was there to save my senior brother, and you were saved incidentally. Saved incidentally? Being always esteemed, Mr. Du was hearing such a phrase for the first time. Wherever Mr. Du went, wasn't he adored by everyone? Yet now, his life was only saved incidentally. It was quite a peculiar feeling. Your senior brother is Wang Ziki? Mr. Du asked. Yes, but he doesn't know about my existence. Ni Yang nodded. I am a newly accepted disciple of Old Master Wang. I am currently learning medical skills from him. Mr. Du knew that Wang Ziki's father is a doctor. He fiddled with his Buddha beads. Then how did you know that your senior brother was in danger? Ni Yang professionally shot the breeze. You might not believe it, but I can tell fortunes. I had foreseen that my senior brother would face a life and death tribulation that evening, so I was there, waiting. After all, whether it's one person or two I had to save, I might as well save you too. Chapter 797, Face-Slapping at the Birthday Banquet. _1 Ni Yang spoke in a gentle tone, there was no hint of jesting in his words. It took a while for Sir Du to process this fact. He was only saved as an afterthought. Can you really tell fortunes? Sir Du asked again. Yes. Ni Yang affirmed with a serious nod. Sir Du toyed with his Buddha beads. Then, can you predict my fortune too? No. Ni Yang shook his head. Sir Du raised an eyebrow. Yang pinched his fingers, putting on the air of a hermit above worldly concerns. Sir, have you ever seen a hermit, I mean a real one, casually predicting fortunes for others? Besides, fortune-telling involves breaking the heavenly secrecy, which could backfire and harm oneself. If it weren't for the fact that Wang Ziki is my elder martial brother, I would not have risked my life to predict his fortune. Yang, who had also been an important figure in his previous life, was quite adept later at cajoling others. It was fortunate that Sir Du, due to his weak and illness-prone constitution during his early years, had kept a few Daoist priests around and so, had a certain degree of belief in metaphysics. Therefore, he didn't question Yang's claims much. After all, it was a fact that she had saved him. Moreover, Sir Du's intuition told him that Yang was not a liar, nor was she someone with ulterior motives. Because her eyes were too clear. Sir Du, who had met countless people, was encountering such clear eyes for the first time. They were like pristine, flawless gems. After hearing Yang's words, Sir Du concluded, so basically, the only reason I managed to escape death was that I had Wang Ziki's luck on my side. If it were not for Wang Ziki, he would have been dead by now. Yang nodded in agreement, indeed. The fact was, Sir Du was indeed a side beneficiary, and it was only because of Wang Ziki's luck that Yang had ventured into that alley in the first place. Had it not been for Wang Ziki, Yang wouldn't have even entertained the thought. The realities were realities. Apart from her past reincarnation, Yang did not wish to deceive Sir Du, though it was unbelievable, he was indeed saved as an afterthought. And it was also because of Wang Ziki's luck. Though this young girl in front of him was a cousin to Zheng Xianjing, she was nothing like the manipulative Zheng Xianjing. Yang didn't even want to pretend to appease him. Had it been anyone else, they would have said, I just couldn't bear to watch a vibrant life vanish before my eyes. But Yang had voiced the cold hard truth. Sir Du took out the gift box he had prepared beforehand and said, regardless of the circumstances, you saved my life once. I'm the type of person who doesn't like owing anyone anything. This is my token of gratitude. Yang said with a smile, brother, you don't have to be so formal with me, just call me junior sister. Calling such a beautiful woman a junior sister made Wang Ziki feel a bit shy, junior sister. Yang continued, brother, I have to leave for now. Okay. Wang Ziki nodded. After Yang left, Mr. Du turned to Wang Ziki, Ziki, come inside with me. Okay. Wang Ziki followed Mr. Du inside. Once inside the private room, Mr. Du said, Ziki, I've got some work to do in the next few days. So, I'll give you a leave of 10 days starting next week. Go home and visit your parents. The news of the sudden holidays took Wang Ziki by surprise. Really? Mr. Du nodded. Recalling someone's instructions, he added, also, Ziki, thank you. Gratitude? Wang Ziki was utterly confused. Why on earth would Mr. Du thank him? What had he done to deserve Mr. Du's gratitude? He felt somewhat flustered. While Wang Ziki was still trying to comprehend the situation, Mr. Du continued, I've been feeling a bit unwell recently, and I heard that your father is a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, is that right? Yes. My father is a very talented TCM doctor. Wang Ziki nodded and continued, Mr. Du, why don't you accompany me home? My father could examine you. Despite Wang Ziki's usual slow demeanor, he was surprisingly proactive when it mattered the most. Mr. Du nodded, that would hardly be any trouble, thank your father for me, please. Scratching his head, Wang Ziki replied, not a problem at all. As they were already at the colors of the sky, they could not resist a fine feast. When it was Xianjing's birthday in the past, why didn't she want to celebrate it grandly? I remember the year when Xianjing turned 18. I wanted to throw a dignified birthday party for her, but what did this old hag say? She suggested that instead of wasting resources on a lavish party, we should donate to the orphanage. Was her daughter less important than those orphans? What Zheng Lingling didn't understand was that, back then, the Zheng matriarch hadn't yet found her long-lost biological daughter. If they had celebrated Xianjing's birthday in grand style, she would have felt as though she was being unfair to the daughter she had lost for so many years. Over the years, the Zheng matriarch had made sure to give Xianjing everything she deserved, not a bit less. But Zheng Lingling never saw this. She lacked empathy and understanding. Continuing, the Zheng matriarch said, "Since we're celebrating both of their birthdays, don't be frugal about the expenses. Don't hesitate to spend where necessary. We can't let outsiders mock our Zheng family for being stingy." Zheng Lingling nodded obediently. "All right, Mom, I understand." After dinner, back in her room, Zheng Lingling called Xianjing and asked her to come home. As soon as Xianjing heard that her mother was planning a birthday banquet, she immediately set off from school. "Wait and see, Xianjing. I will make sure you stand tall and proud at the birthday banquet. We will trample down that country bumpkin Yang. She doesn't even deserve to tie your shoelaces." Zheng Xianjing expressed some concern. "Mom, are you sure Mr. Du will come?" It had been many days. Wang Ziki hadn't shown up in all that time. So Zheng Xianjing was worried. Zheng Lingling laughed and reassured her, "Don't worry. Mr. Du will definitely come back. I'll make sure news of your birthday gets disseminated tomorrow." Zheng Xianjing nodded. In order to make Zheng Xianjing's birthday a success and raise her status, Zheng Lingling put in a great deal of effort, even ordering a top-tier evening gown from overseas specifically for the occasion. I didn't expect Zheng Xianjing, who appears so frail, to be so deeply capable. Indeed. Mr. Du's life savior? Yang raised her eyebrows slightly upon hearing the discussion. It really was quite coincidental. The person she had casually saved also happened to be called Mr. Du. It remained to be seen which Mr. Du was the one famous throughout the 10-mile foreign trade district. Yang didn't dwell on it and proceeded to chat with Shang Guanxi and Shang Guansu. Shang Guanxi said, Yang, your dress looks absolutely beautiful." Yang smiled, "After the banquet, I'll lend it to you." "Really? That would be great." Just then, a commotion arose at the entrance of the banquet hall, and all the guests paused to look. They saw 4 men in suits carrying a dazzling gem statue slowly walking inward. The crystal statue, about the height of half a person, was delicately carved, depicting many splendid peaches, symbolizing longevity. Leading the way, one man was dressed in a black suit. Another was dressed in a simple cloth robe and cloth shoes, holding Buddha beads. Despite his plain attire, every move he made exuded an unapproachable aura of nobility. "That's Mr. Du," someone in the crowd recognized him. Mr. Du had indeed come. Zheng Xianjing didn't know Mr. Du, but she recognized Wang Ziki, Mr. Du's assistant. Smiling slightly, she fluffed her curly hair and, restraining her excited heart, walked step by step towards Mr. Du. "Mr. Du, I think I made it very clear to your assistant, Mr. Wang Ziki, I'm not the type to leverage gratitude for personal gain. Please take your item back." Chapter 803, Bullied Zheng Xianjing, Ugly Behavior. Zheng Xianjing spoke with extreme confidence. She knew that Mr. Du was there for her. With so many people at today's birthday banquet, who else could share such glory? Yet, She wanted to be the most unique among them. She intended to refuse Mr. Du and make him fall for her exclusiveness. Zheng Xianjing's words indeed surprised everyone in the banquet hall. My God! No one expected that Zheng Xianjing would actually refuse Mr. Du. Zheng Xianjing enjoyed the stunned looks from everyone, stood up straight, and confidently faced Mr. Du. Just then, Wang Ziki, dressed in a suit, stepped forward. Excuse me. Miss Zheng, Mr. Du isn't here for you. Is Miss Ni Yenyang here? What? Zheng Xianjing doubted she was hearing things. She was the one who had saved Mr. Du's life. What did Mr. Du want with Ni Yang? Expressions of surprise showed on the faces of others as well. It seemed Zheng Xianjing was just being delusional. This was going to be an interesting scene. A VIP arrived at the banquet hall, and Mr. Zheng, the host, couldn't neglect his duties. He immediately approached. Is this Mr. Du? I am Yang Yang's grandfather. May I ask what brings the two of you here for my granddaughter? Wang Ziki bowed slightly. Mr. Zheng, this is Mr. Du. We have specifically come to celebrate Miss Ni Yang's birthday. They came for Ni Yang's birthday. They had come to celebrate Ni Yang's birthday? Zheng Xianjing's face turned pale instantaneously. Mr. Zheng was also bewildered. Wasn't Zheng Xianjing supposed to be Mr. Du's lifesaver? Why was Mr. Du here to celebrate Ni Yang's birthday instead? Wang Ziki continued to explain. Hey Race, what happened? A few months ago, Miss Ni Yang once saved Mr. Du. However, at that time, Mr. Du was not aware of Miss Ni's real identity. Coincidentally, your family has two granddaughters of similar age, and Miss Zheng Xianjing concealed the truth. So, we took a big detour and misidentified the lifesaver. In reality, it was Miss Ni Yang who actually saved Mr. Du. As soon as he spoke, the place went silent immediately. Zheng Xianjing felt her blood run cold, her face turning even paler than paper. Why? Why did it turn out like this? She was the one who had saved Mr. Du. How could it be Ni Yang? The glares from the crowd felt like knives, one after the other slicing through her. Wang Ziki's words were tactfully spoken, implying that Zheng Xianjing was essentially a fraud. So she's just a fraud. A fraud dares to play hard to get with Mr. Du? She thought Mr. Du would fancy her? Delusional. TSK, to dare impersonate Mr. Du's lifesaver, that's simply shameless. Someone in the crowd uttered these words. Embarrassment, humiliation, and awkwardness, all these emotions intertwined, and Zheng Xianjing could hardly stand still as cold sweat formed layers on her back. Chapter 804, Bullied Zheng Xianjing, Unsightly Manners _2. She knew Zheng Xianjing wasn't the savior of Master Du, but she never imagined that the person who saved Master Du would be Ni Yang. That country bumpkin Ni Yang, what qualifies her? Previously, I must have been blind not to see the gem in front of me. Turns out, the real Miss Zheng is the one who saved Master Du's life. These two, mother and daughter, are shameless. At this point, they're still desperately struggling? Do they really think Master Du is a fool? That he can't recognize his own lifesaver? Master Zheng's face flashed a shade of embarrassment. You're right. My apologies for this farce, please come inside, Yang Yang is in there. While speaking, he motioned to the servants beside him, hurry and take Madam and the young miss back to their room to rest. Under these circumstances, if Zheng Lingling and Zheng Xianjing continued to stay at the banquet, it would be utterly humiliating. Just a moment ago, the mother-daughter duo Zheng Lingling and Zheng Xianjing were the center of attention, and now, they had become the laughingstock. As she passed by Ni Yang, Zheng Xianjing's eyes were filled with nothing but hate and jealousy. What makes Ni Yang so special? Why should she take credit for what I did? Zheng Xianjing wished she could rush up and tear Ni Yang's face apart, but she managed to hold herself back. She had already been humiliated once. She couldn't allow it to happen a second time. Just wait. She will definitely have her revenge for today's events. Zheng Xianjing's face was deathly pale as she followed Zheng Lingling back to their room. However, the whispers behind her hadn't stopped. Especially those who had been looked down upon by Zheng Xianjing, they were now laughing until tears nearly flooded their eyes. I have to go back and tell Siyu the good news. She'll be so happy when she hears it. Who is Zhang Siyu? Zhang Siyu is the wealthy girl who was severely humiliated by Zheng Xianjing last time. Thinking of the mocking faces of those people, Zheng Xianjing was so furious she was about to explode. Xianjing, as long as Qingshan exists, there's no fear of no firewood. Zheng Lingling held onto Zheng Xianjing's hand. Zheng Xianjing clenched her teeth tightly and nodded her head. Sheng Guanxi pulled on Ni Yang's hand and whispered, Zheng Xianjing really has some nerve, to even dare impersonate Master Du's savior. Doesn't she realize who Master Du is, that a little girl could deceive him? Sheng Guanxi had already seen what Ni Yang was capable of, so Ni Yang having rescued Master Du was not a surprise to her at all. Ni Yang swirled her wine in the tall glass, the liquid rippling in circles under the crystal light, oblivious to the fact that she had become the focal point of the entire hall's discussion. Chapter 805, Bullied Zheng Xianjing, Unsightly Manners _3. Xianjing, stop crying, Zheng Lingling comforted her. She too hadn't expected such a thing to happen. She thought today Zheng Xianjing was going to be the highlight of the evening, but instead, she became the laughingstock of the whole event. Who would have thought that Ni Yang would turn out to be Mr. Du's lifesaver? Zheng Xianjing cried bitterly, and Sun Wu was also frustrated, chain-smoking. I told you long ago that your plan wouldn't work. When facing someone like Mr. Du, you should cling tightly to him. But the two of you insisted on playing hard to get. Now look, you've messed up and gained nothing for your efforts. He had even thought about becoming Mr. Du's father-in-law. Now it's all over. Everything is gone. Zheng Lingling scolded, your daughter is like this, and you still have the mood to make sarcastic remarks. Are you still human? Zheng Xianjing cried, it's all that bitch Ni Yang's fault. She stole my thing. Clearly, I was Mr. Du's lifesaver, there must be something fishy going on. It was that bitch Ni Yang seducing Mr. Du. Definitely. Why did all the good things fall into Ni Yang's lap? Why was she the one who became the joke? Zheng Xianjing truly couldn't accept it. She just couldn't. She extremely loathed Ni Yang. Zheng Lingling said, yes, Xianjing, you're right. That Ni Yang is the bane of our family of three. First, she took our family fortune, and now even your credit. Don't worry, Mom won't let her get away with it. We still have a long way to go. Tonight, although the Zheng family had their moment, they also lost face. After the banquet ended, Master Zheng's expression was grim as he told the servant, go and call down the madam and miss. Yes, the servant went upstairs to call them. Shortly after, Zheng Lingling and Zheng Xianjing came down from upstairs. The mother and daughter had changed into plain clothes, looking somewhat haggard, especially Zheng Xianjing, whose eyes were swollen from crying. Father, Zheng Lingling took the initiative to speak. Master Zheng with a stern face, said, explain this situation. He hadn't managed affairs in many years, and his sudden stern expression was very oppressive. Zheng Lingling continued, Dad, this incident is all my fault, I didn't teach Xianjing well. If you want to blame someone, blame me. Xianjing is still young, please don't blame her. Young? Master Zheng looked up at Zheng Lingling, you have the audacity to say that. If I'm not mistaken, Yang is even 2 years younger than her. Look at her, and then look at Yang. Is this the daughter you've raised over the years? Zheng Lingling turned pale. In what ways was Zheng Xianjing inferior to Ni Yang? Just because she wasn't as seductive as Ni Yang? This biased old man. He never doubted Ni Yang. Zheng Xianjing continued, Sister, if you see Teacher Du, please tell him for me that it wasn't intentional what happened, I just didn't know how to begin. If Ni Yang could seduce Teacher Du, why couldn't she? To bring down Ni Yang, she had to start with Teacher Du. She would let Ni Yang bring about her own downfall. So this was the real motive. Ni Yang's lips curved into a slight smile. Sure, sister, I will pass on the message. Zheng Xianjing's thoughts spun, and she continued, could I trouble you to keep an eye on Teacher Du's whereabouts for me? Ni Yang nodded, of course. Then it'll be trouble you, sister, said Zheng Xianjing. As you should. Ni Yang's tone was light. The Zheng family waters ran deep, and to uncover the truth, Ni Yang needed to first heal Zheng Suyu. In fact, she was almost fully versed in the 13 needles of hell but lacked the final step, which she needed to discuss with her teacher. After dealing with Zheng Xianjing, Ni Yang rode her bike to her teacher's house. The weather was gradually getting hotter, and very unusually for her, Ni Yang was not wearing a cheongsam today but a white lantern sleeve blouse with black wide-leg trousers. The lantern sleeve blouse was designed by Ni Yang herself and made by a tailor. It combined modern fashion elements with classic ones, and since it was tailored, it fitted her perfectly. The waist-pinching style suited her especially well. Her soft hair cascaded down her back, stirring with the breeze, looking very beautiful. When Ni Yang arrived at her teacher and his wife's home, the old couple were having breakfast. Although Ni Yang had already eaten, she still joined the old couple for a few bites. After eating, Ni Yang began to discuss the 13 needles of hell with her teacher. Teacher Wang said, Yang, you've been very diligent with these 13 needles of hell lately. Tell your teacher honestly, have you encountered some trouble? The 13 needles of hell were very dangerous, and Ni Yang was worried her teacher might be concerned or try to stop her, so she said, I'm just curious, teacher. You're overthinking it. What kind of trouble could I possibly encounter? I also think my writing looks quite nice. Old Wang didn't feel that his disciple was being vain at all and nodded, of course, could my eye for talent ever be poor? Outside, the corners of a man's mouth twitched. Dad! Just then, a rough male voice rang through the air. Old Wang was stunned. Was he hearing things? Dad! Old Wang turned around sharply and saw the son he had been longing to see. 2 years apart, and that rascal seemed to have grown tall again. Dad! Wang Ziki walked over and embraced Old Wang, his voice trembling. Old Wang couldn't help his eyes from reddening. He even doubted if he was dreaming. Old Wang stealthily pinched his thigh. Ouch! It hurt like hell. This wasn't a dream. Dad, I've missed you so much. Wang Ziki burst into tears. Boss Wang said with a stern face, a man should not lightly shed tears, what's there to cry about? Hold those tears back. Despite being on the verge of tears himself, he was still seriously chastising his foolish son. Wang Ziki wiped his face with his sleeve. Dad, where's Mom? Boss Wang replied, your mom went to the vegetable garden. The vegetable garden is where they grow their own vegetables since they live in the countryside and have to grow what they eat. Oh, Wang Ziki nodded and then added, by the way, Dad, this is my boss, Mr. Du. Old Wang knew of Mr. Du by reputation but had never met him before. Mr. Du, it's a pleasure. Uncle, Mr. Du said, twirling his Buddha beads, nodding slightly. Old Wang took another look at Mr. Du, feeling that this Mr. Du was very different from the rumors, resembling more a schoolteacher from the Republic era, genteel and elegant. Just then, as if suddenly remembering something, old Wang gestured to Yang, come here. Ziki, this is the apprentice I've taken on recently. Before old Wang could finish speaking, Yang smiled and said, Master, I've already met my senior brother. With that said, she greeted Mr. Du. Mr. Du nodded in acknowledgement. Old Wang exclaimed in surprise, Yang, how do you two know each other? Yang succinctly replied, Master, isn't there a family portrait in the living room? One day I saw someone on the street who looked exactly like senior brother from the portrait, so we got to know each other. Then ill trouble Miss Ni. The young lady was still able to discern his old ailment, which meant she had some skill. However, Grandpa Du had already figured she had good medical skills, otherwise, she wouldn't have left the right pills for him that night. A doctor's heart is like that of a parent's, it's only right, Yang said in a muted tone as she took out a writing brush to prescribe the medicine. A doctor's heart is indeed like that of a parent's, the saying goes. But Grandpa Du felt something was off. After the prescription was written, Yang handed it to old Wang. Master, please have a look. Old Wang took the prescription and moved next to Grandpa Du. Forgive the trouble, Grandpa Du, but please extend your hand again. Grandpa Du extended his hand. As old Wang felt Grandpa Du's pulse, he understood why Yang hadn't said anything for so long. Grandpa Du's pulse was indeed peculiar. Old Wang felt the pulse while looking at the prescription Yang wrote, nodding repeatedly, good. You are truly a disciple worthy of being trained by Wang Yu. Such talent, such intellect, how could an ordinary person compare? In a short while, old Wang put away the prescription and then said, Grandpa Du, Yang's prescription can cure your old ailment. You've really encountered a savior today. Grandpa Du put away the prescription. Thank you. That afternoon, because someone from the village came to seek treatment and a particular rare herb was missing, the patient's condition was quite urgent. Old Wang had no choice but to go up the mountain with a basket to gather herbs. Yang approached. Master, it's getting late now, you're getting on in years, and it's not safe to go up the mountain. Let me go instead. It had rained last night, and the mountain was likely to be filled with miasma. Yang was worried for old Wang. Old Wang laughed. Listen to you, girl, if a big man like me isn't safe, how could a young lass like you be any safer? Let the master go. Yang took the basket off old Wang. Don't forget, master, I'm quite skilled. Besides, today is Big Brother's first day back, you should stay and keep him company at home. Another reason was that a wandering Taoist said Yenyun was the reincarnation of a fortunate star from heaven, capable of bringing new opportunities to the Wu family and ensuring the continuation of their family line, which is why she was named Yenyun. Meat and Chinese characters combined the surname of the husband and wife, making her full name Wu Yenyun. Interestingly, when Yenyun was 8 years old, Erju indeed became pregnant and smoothly gave birth to Wu Dalong. When Yenyun was 11, Erju gave birth to Wu Erlong, and last year, to Wu Xiaolong. The births of these 3 children one after another made the couple very happy, and their fondness for Yenyun grew as well. They believed it was Yenyun who had brought these new opportunities to the Wu family. Do you think I want to bring this up? I mentioned it because it seems you've even forgotten your own sons. Grandma Wu grabbed Wu Jinshu's hand. Jinshu, I'm 67 this year and who knows when my time will come. If I don't see Dalong and Erlong going to school and your family living in a small Western-style house before I go, I won't be at peace. As long as the family is healthy and happy, it doesn't matter where we live, Mom. You really don't need to worry about this, Wu Jinshu said. Upon hearing this, Grandma Wu felt her nose twitch and started crying again. You keep saying you want to honor me, is this how you honor me? Everyone else's parents are living in small Western-style houses, and here am I, staying in this dark, haunted place. People aspire to move up, water flows downhill. Do you think I don't want to live in a small Western-style house? Your father died early, and it was I who brought you up single-handedly, carrying you through the Great Famine. I chewed on tree barks and ate clay. Think about it, when did I ever let you and your sister eat such things? A child doesn't know the parent's heart, a child doesn't know. Grandma Wu's spouse had died early, leaving her to raise 2 children alone. You're tuning in to the Unparalleled SwordWill YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.